Hey, what's up, everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Resident Roleplay. This is a show where a group of friends and I get together and play homebrewed tabletop RPG set in the world of Resident Evil. I'm your host and GM, and welcome back, everybody.
Hello.
So, I guess it's been quite the eventful week. So yeah, welcome back. Just by way of announcements, a few things to go over before we get into the meat of things. Also, hello everyone in the chat. I see Troy and Ralph Abiki are hanging out. So, just as a heads up, we do actually have a new live action video coming out this Friday. At least that's what we're shooting for. So look forward to that. We got a new action short that's been in the works for a little while. That will finally be coming up. And we're pretty excited for that. And of course, we got Trial of the Century the week after that, so it's going to be quite a jam-packed couple of weeks. And not to mention that, for those who may not have heard, my day job is closed since Pennsylvania has just reduced businesses to only life-sustaining businesses only. So a lot of businesses are shutting down because of this whole coronavirus situation. And I know a lot of people amid the cast here are sort of in similar situations, a lot of people being, quarantined and whatnot. So, thankfully, we play this game online, so we are still able to gather for that. But yeah, just wanted to point out, of course, that I hope you all stay safe out there, stay sanitary, wash your hands, stay away from crowds, and going out and meeting people as much as you can. And we'll, of course, be doing the same. But, at the least, I have been freed up for quite a bit of time in these coming weeks, so expect to see a lot of content being worked on and coming out, and possibly some more streams. Actually, definitely some more streams, because Doom Eternal just came out, and I will be starting my playthrough of that come Monday. So, I'm super hyped for that. I really love Doom 2016. And I think, Mel, you're going to be streaming that as well at some point, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm not sure if we've plugged it on here, but what's your Twitch channel again?
Oh, it's just twitch.tv/The Night Wraith.
Night Wraith. That's night with a K, right?
Yes.
All right, there it is. Apparently, Ralph Abiki's playing it right now, and I'm jelly. So, oh yeah, I'm so amped for that game. So that's gonna be pretty exciting. I'm glad that this happened just in time for me to just stay in and play some Doom Eternal, and of course work on a bunch of other stuff. So, yeah, scary times, but also exciting times with the things that we're working on that are coming up, and hopefully we'll be able to provide a lot of content during this time where a lot of people are going to have a lot of time that they're going to need filled. So, we'll see how it goes. But in the meantime, are we ready to get into tonight's session?
I believe so.
All right.
I had to leave here at some point just to get my food, but I'm ready to go.
Okay, so all good. So, previously on Resident Roleplay, the CIA agents, Mr. G and Mrs. X, returned with their rogue manifold android Enyo to San Martinez, California, only to find the city in ruins from a T-virus outbreak caused by a missile strike. In the sewers, you discovered what remains of the Navy forces, including a lieutenant who had been transformed into a deadly but friendly tyrant. Among their number was also a traitorous comms officer who stole the manifold hard drive that you were carrying. Enyo went ahead and chased him through the streets and managed to take it back, but a licker killed him in the process, and several tyrants chased Enyo back into the sewers. After evading and hiding from the tyrants, she met with a squad of mercenaries from Red Oracle Solutions, and their captain, who did not give his name, though hesitant, agreed to escort you back to the Kelly Systems Corp office, where his allies are headquartered. Meanwhile, Mr. G and Mrs. X were interrogated by Commander Denton, who agreed to let you go search for your mutual lost allies on the condition that the tyrant, Lieutenant Stanley, accompany you. At the surface, you made some calls and tried to rally some local biker gangs and other tasks. and then you return down to the sewers and use the relative safety of the underground to make your way towards the inner city and the Kelly Systems office. En route, you pass through a chamber where a giant alligator, a horde of large spiders, and several sliding worms descended on you. But with superior tactics and the supreme strength of a tyrant on your side, you survived this skirmish and pressed onward with your now bloodied and battered tyrant friend. So, as the hours of night drag on into the early morning, you arrive at the bottom of a manhole, which you know from the sewer blueprints you'd found earlier should bring you to the surface within a few blocks of the Kelly Systems Corp office. It's cold, it's dank, it's dark, your water dripping from nearby pipes. You're about ready to escape the stench that has permeated every second of this journey. Floor's yours.
How close are we to where we need to get?
Within a few blocks. You don't imagine it'll take very long traveling on the surface.
All right, you want to pop out really quick?
Yeah, I think we can go ahead and take a look.
All right. While we're popping out,
Mm-hmm.
I totally forgot to call Kelly Systems Corp, but I have their phone number. I had to go back and watch the VOD to make sure I did. We totally did. So basically, the number was texted to me.
Right.
So I can call them up. I'm gonna do what we did before first, where just like the lift it up and just periscope, look around, make sure we're clear.
Go ahead and make a perception check. And the street lights and utilities still seem to be functioning, so there's a fair amount of visibility, and plus with your dark vision, shouldn't be a problem.
What time is it about again?
If you have an instrument by which you can tell time, you'll know it's just a little bit past midnight on May the 2nd.
Okay. It is 14 on the perception check.
All right. So, looking around, you do see in the streets what look to be a good handful of zombies and other sort of BOWs roaming around. It looks mostly to be zombies in this area, nothing too extraordinary, but that you do see like a licker, hop from a rooftop here and there, but they all just seem to be roaming. Not too incredibly crowded compared to some of the other areas of the cities you'd poked up at along your journey.
Oh. Hopefully they've been clearing it out for us. Really quick, I'm going to... well, I guess we could pop up to the surface if we have an opening, but I would like to start the phone call, and I would call the offices.
Okay. Alright, so you're popping up with the manhole lid just moved over. You motion the rest of them up, and you guys head up into the streets. Again, the zombies are kind of scattered about. There are quite a few around here, but not too densely crowded. Are you attempting to move quietly to kind of avoid getting noticed by them?
Always.
Alright, go ahead and make a stealth check.
It's beautiful. That's a 23.
Yeah, that's true.
23 on my stealth, but dang, man.
I'll guess
1 and a 2.
Go ahead and roll a d20 for
the big boy,
Mrs. X as well. I'll roll for the big boy.
Oh, she did fine.
Oh yeah, she'll be well off with that. Let me check.
Plus, our base and proficiency is like 22 for her.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you all climb out of the hole in the middle of the street, and you stay low as you help Mrs. X up, and the two of you sort of sneak off, find cover around cars and various other obstacles that have been, sort of crashed or otherwise abandoned in the middle of the streets, and then you manage to sneak your way into nearby alleys without attracting too much attention. The tyrant has a little bit more trouble than you, is a little bit less smooth at the whole ordeal as he climbs out. He's like, and tries to move as quietly as he can, but still does not manage to attract any of the attention from the nearby zombies, it seems. As he goes over,
he can take care of himself.
Yeah, that too. But he seems to make do, despite his large lumbering form, and plus the zombies in general, as you have noticed, don't seem to pay too much mind to the tyrants, even the others that you've seen.
That would make sense.
But yeah, he makes his way over to rejoin the rest of you as you're huddled in the darkness of this alleyway.
So we're gonna have to get by just like some pure stealth, the pure skill, and just like stick into the shadows. He can walk around, and I'm sure the zombies won't mind him much because they got a virus bond. So, my call with the office, Kelly Systems.
All right. So you ring them up.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think I have really quick. My battery life is at 35.
Right. We were keeping track of that. So you ring them up and you make a call. It rings for a bit. Then you hear an answer. Kelly Systems Corporation, how can I help you?
What? Crap. Do we have a name for my Red Oracle officer?
Which one?
The one that I am currently employing.
Oh, yeah, I gave you his name last time.
Oh, Storm.
Storm, yeah, that's what it was.
His name is Storm. I'm basically just gonna say, like, give some sort of like designation for like, I'm like affiliated with Storm, Red Oracle member from just like whatever branch he's in.
Mm.
He gave me your number.
Okay, we've got some Red Oracle guys here. You want me to transfer you to them?
Yeah.
All right, hold please. You're yeah, like catchy dial tone.
We're sitting in the middle of a freaking of a dark street. I'm just sitting here, just you could hear like
just like bip, 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 bip. And that goes for a second. Then you hear answering on the other side. It's just like, yes.
Same thing. Affiliated with Storm of whatever branch he's from. Give his credentials, and I'm gonna say, we just came from the Navy base in San Martinez. I heard you have yeah.
Are you survivors?
Survivors? Sure, technically, but no, we're a little bit more active than that. No, we're looking for a place to bunker down. We're here to help.
Can you identify yourself?
Not currently. But what's freaking but Sly told me where to find you guys. I heard you've been in contact.
Yeah, we have been in contact with the Navy base down at the port. You've been in touch with them, you say?
Yeah, we're coming to help you take care of your 2% problem.
I see. Are you in the area?
Yeah, we're pretty close. We're yeah, we're on the corner of
All right. You're not far at all. Just a few blocks away. Just head northward a few more blocks and you should find the building with the logo on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
We're all boarded up, but just head to the front door. Our CCTVs and all the corporation's security implements are still operational. It's some luck that we were hired to work with a security systems company at this point in time in this place. So, just give me a description of yourself and we'll know to let you through the doors.
All right, so you've got 2 shadows and a tyrant.
I'm sorry, you say a tyrant?
Yeah. He's cool.
Is he friendly?
Absolutely. A friendly neighborhood tyrant.
Oh, we'll have to take your word for it. You say shadows.
Well,
I'm gonna need a bit more detail than that.
the way we're going at it, you might not even see us coming in.
Well, like I said, you're gonna have to walk up to the front door.
We'll see about that. Just make sure the door's open when we get there.
It won't be open until we see you at the front doorstep. Not risking anything coming through. Yeah, lots of infected come knocking every once in a while.
Alright, just make sure it's clear.
That's gonna be on you. If you could get to the door, we can get you in.
Fair deal.
Are you armed?
Absolutely.
Alright. How soon can we expect you?
How soon would it take us to get to the address?
It's gonna be
Approximately.
minutes, maybe 5 minutes tops, walking.
Alright. Couple minutes.
Alright. We'll see you when we get here. Then we'll talk.
And then I'm gonna hang up and just motion north.
Alright. So you all start moving out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll say with your stealth checks that we had previously, and that 18 was for Mrs. X, by the way. So whatever your stealth bonus is plus as added to that, which I assume, is going to be huge.
Yeah. Minimum, just the proficiency. I'm assuming you've got proficiency in stealth. It would be a 22, plus whatever mobility you have.
That's a 31.
Holy shit. All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you two.
See, I rolled a 2, so I'm actually at a 23.
So you two silently slip off into the night, and your big tyrant friend sort of follows suit, but sticks closer to the street, not wanting to draw attention towards you guys, and knowing that he could get by pretty, not unnoticed. Like the zombies still seem to acknowledge him, but they don't really seem to care. The infected, don't really, unless they're looking to eat, like the alligator was. The infected don't really seem to pay much mind to the tyrants, without the tyrant acting aggressively first. So he kind of moves closer and a bit, more light in the streets, but still kind of tries to move as sneakily as he can, while the two of you stick to the shadows and the alleyways.
I'm going to motion to Miss X, like earpiece, to tell her to connect to Bluetooth. I'm gonna try to get on the seal or on the rooftop of a nearby building.
All right. How are you going about getting up
With
there?
my grappling hook.
All right. So with the hook shot, yeah, easy enough. You shoot your grappling hook out of the pistol-like device, and it just sticks to the edge of one roof of a nearby storefront, and you definitely are able to flip onto the top as you reel it in.
Can I see the building from here?
Yeah, it's just sort of further down the road. You could definitely be able to see it from up top.
Using my binoculars, I want to see if I can see the building a little bit better. Is there any open windows, or is it fully securely
Make a perception check.
And we're still moving forward at this time, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Oops. Uh, 14.
Okay. You do see the building from that distance, and you see the logo as described, the very sort of minimalistic typeface, Kelly Systems Corporation, just sort of printed in steel letters, hung up across the top. It's not an incredibly large building. It's just one story, but fairly sizable and decent looking in terms of its length.
Okay.
It does have a lot of windows around the outside, but they're all barricaded with what
More
look to
flat than it is tall.
Yeah, more flat than it is tall. But the windows all seem to be barricaded with metal slats that have sort of come down.
Oh. Okay, yeah, they're professionals. That's like some full on just like press a button.
Yeah.
Operation like dining in.
Yeah. And your time in the intelligence industry, I suppose, you would probably recognize the name of Kelly Systems Corp. You would know they're a pretty reputable, if low-key, security systems corporation. They install security for other businesses, and you imagine they have pretty good security themselves.
I'm sure there's been a couple times where I've been on a job and it's just like Kelly Systems is their security operator. I'm just like, fuck.
Yeah, you recognize the logo from all the branded items that you had to make your way past.
Oh yeah, that's all coming back. All right. Does it look clear?
There are a couple of zombies like roaming the street up there, but sort of aimlessly. They don't seem to be too nearby to the entrance. But because the door is like so the front door seems to be so front and center in the street, so you don't imagine you'll be able to get to it stealthily. You'll just kind of have to be out in the open, but as long as you could get to it quickly, you think you'll be able to avoid any particular trouble.
So that was my next question: is there a straight shot from where X and the Tyrant are to the door?
Relatively straight door. Like I said, the streets are full of obstacles, lots of cars, abandoned cars, and whatnot hanging around. Some shopping carts.
In terms of hostels.
In terms of hostels, it's pretty much a straight shot.
Okay. I think we've got an opening. We better move it.
Gotcha.
All right, so y'all make a dash for the door then?
Yeah, it's time to...
Are you coming down from the rooftop, or are you just leaping from the rooftops, making your way down there?
I'm gonna take the high road until I have to get to the building, and then I'll probably just get on the building and then.
All right, so you stay on the high road on the side opposite the street, on the opposite side of the street from the Kelly Systems office. You keep moving across the buildings, grappling where need be.
I'm just basically I have my rifle out, just ready to take a shot if anybody.
So you're just doing like parkour across the rooftops, essentially.
For show.
Just like hopping the gaps between the alleys and just like hanging and climbing. So.
And hook shotting my way through.
So you make your way through, keeping watch on the high ground. Mrs. X and the Tyrant, Lieutenant Stanley, continue to move along the ground level. And again, it is a pretty straight shot. So the two of you are just beeline it for the front door and make it to those sort of what looks to be glass double doors that comprise the building's entrance. And you do see there's a small CCTV camera that's on a bit of a swivel that seems to be tracking the two of you. And you arrive at those front doors.
And I'm just going to drop down behind them.
Okay, so you when they get there, you drop in behind them, rolling across the ground as you arrive. The zombies at this point seem to be sort of turning to face your general direction and start with their hands out, just lumbering towards you guys. You give a look at the camera, and after a moment, you hear a beep as sort of electronic lock that is attached to these glass doors. Just the component where there was a red light once now turns green, and you get the sense that the door is now unlocked for you. So the three of you.
Time to go in.
Yeah, the three of you as you rush in. The lieutenant ducking under the door frame behind you guys, being the last to go through and making sure the door is securely shut. You hear it beep again as it relocks upon your entry, and you are greeted on the other side by a bunch of lights, yet again, as a bunch of flashlights hit in your direction, and you hear a bunch of racking guns as they're trained on you.
Oh, yep, that's the greeting.
Pretty par for the course.
You hear a voice. You're the ones we spoke to over the phone?
Yeah, that was me.
And he kind of, you see one figure sort of step out in front of the flashlights, and sort of silhouetted by this sort of blinding array. But you see a man, shoulder length, dark hair, wearing a sort of dark tactical trench coat draping down his body. He's got like a gas mask, but not down on his face, but like up on top right now. He approaches you all and is like, kind of turns back and says, "They look familiar to you?" Speaking to Enyo. Let's see if I don't know if she's in right now, but...
Beep boop.
They are my allies.
I see. Alright, at ease, gentlemen. All the flashlights that are blaring at you just go off, and the general lights in the room just get flicked on, and now you see that you're just in the middle of what looks to be a general office space, carpeted floors, a sort of open bullpen area with lots of desks around, but you are surrounded by a good number of mercenary soldiers with the red eye patch on their shoulders and on the sort of grayish uniforms.
All right. So, I guess first things first. Enyo.
Yes.
How'd your mission go?
I was successful in retrieving the hard drive.
That's
But
good.
the culprit was killed by a licker.
That's all right.
You see the lieutenant just like shuffles a bit, disappointed, maybe a little saddened.
I'm sure he was your friend. Guy was a dirty traitor, though.
And at this point, he's kind of receded the hood off of his head, and still sort of draped in these cloaks.
This is Lieutenant Mark, I believe.
Just,
It's Lieutenant Mark Stanley.
Yeah.
He was fortunate enough to be part of the Navy. Or he is fortunate to be a tyrant who was part of the Navy when everything hit. He's a 2%er on our side.
yeah, I've heard that a lot of people got turned into tyrants. Well, I'm glad we have one on our side, because we certainly have a lot against us.
He's like all beat up right now, right? I just remembered he got hit
Oh
real
yeah,
bad by
he
an alligator.
I was talking about the stench of the sewers, and after wrestling with that alligator in that sort of muddied pit of just like that cesspool at the center of that chamber, yeah, he is way smellier than the rest of you, and his cloak is just all covered and dirtied, and you don't know how much of it is blood and how much of it is refuse, but it seems to be a fair mix of both.
You guys have a shower?
Yeah, we should be able to accommodate.
Yeah,
Can I get some names, though? Who am I dealing with here?
I'm Jason.
Jason. Turns to Mrs. X.
Oh.
Give you a minute.
She'll go. They just call me Evelyn.
Evelyn. Alright. My name is Malik. I head up a squad here with Red Oracle.
That's Valik.
We've been hired by Kelly Systems Corp to do some security during some sensitive business talks that they've been having lately. But that mission has gone down the drain, as you may imagine, after these outbreaks started happening. Missile blew up right over the city. Things haven't been the same since. Now we're just trying to get by. And he sort of motions you and leads you deeper into the office. How much do you know about what's been happening here?
What do you know first? We're all a bit trying to figure out where exactly we sit in all this.
You're with the Navy?
Currently.
What does that mean?
The Navy is just the latest chain of command we've had to go through before this. Work for a lot of people.
You're with the government, then?
Something
Or
like
mercenaries?
that. It's a little bit closer.
Alright. I can respect that. But you, as you've probably seen, the city's gone down the drain. T-virus creatures are roaming all over the place, and we've got these 2%ers to worry about. Heard you drop that name, so I assume you know about them.
Yeah.
And it leads you back into this other sort of back room, where there looks to be other sort of mercenaries and suits gathered, more sort of business-dressed individuals. You see one is sort of a darker lady with her hair tied into a bun, who's in a sort of business suit, and another gentleman in a business suit. And Malik introduces you. He's just like, these were the ones that called ahead. Jason, Evelyn, Lieutenant Stanley of the Navy. This is Clarice Cortez. She's the local manager of this Kelly Systems branch. And Carter Banks, Red Oracle Vice President.
I was hoping.
And Clarice nods to you, and she's just like, "So, what's going on? Who are you? Who are you? Who are you working for? Is this? How does this help us?"
Hello?
Oh, I think we might have froze up for a bit there because I saw your cam went frozen for a second. I hear you now.
Yeah, I think I just checked the stream. I think it went down for a bit. I don't know if that was me or what.
I don't know. That might have been me. Is the stream still good?
Stream's still going
that's
for me.
sure. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I think that might have been on my end. I think I dropped out completely.
Okay.
I didn't hear the last
Okay, yeah, it was
maybe
just
30 seconds.
Miss Cortez just turned to you and said, just like, so what's this? Who are you working for? How does this help us?
Well, we're liaisons for the Navy. We're mostly here just to retrieve our friend here, but our secondary mission is to help.
The machine? That's your friend?
That's correct. She's our friend.
Oh man,
You want her
is
to
a
be your
government-
friend.
Government robot. And Carter just sort of steps forward, just like, yes, forgive her disposition. We're all a little bit high-strung. So, your purpose here is to retrieve the machine, then, yes?
Primarily.
All right, and Has Malik here gotten you up to date with our current situation?
I don't believe so.
Well, the current situation is we're holed up in here. Been scouting around looking for, just keeping up to date with what's going on, gathering intel, making sure we know our surroundings. The biggest threat right now, of course, are the 2%ers. Way more dangerous than the infected just roaming the street. They're pretty unintelligent and easy to avoid. But the 2%ers are an organized militia. Not too organized, but still organized. I've dealt with militias before, but rarely do they have weapons of such magnitude as their soldiers have naturally.
Just
Case in point. Malik turns to you and says, "What do you know about their leader?"
didn't know they had one.
"Yeah, the speaking tyrant. They call him..."
Oh, that guy.
"Yeah. Well, that's what they call him, at least. From what I gather, from the intel we've been able to collect, put together a pretty complete profile. I understand his name is Rodrigo Salvador. He was a former cartel ambassador based out of San Diego. But the cartel cut ties with him a while back, so he moved up north and settled as a common gangbanger. But here in this sleepy little town of San Martinez, just happened to get hit by this bioterror attack. All of a sudden, 2% of the population is turning into tyrants. Naturally, a lot of them try to organize. He wasn't the only speaking tyrant, at least not at first. A few white-collar tyrants tried to seize control when this all first started coming about. They set up a sort of administrative leadership. But Salvador killed them all. And now all of the tyrants that were at all organized follow him.
Yeah, he strong-armed his way into power.
Basically. To be
Dirty
fair,
tactic, but it works.
seems to have a better idea of how these power structures work than the white-collar tyrants that attempted to seize control at first.
If he's a former, what was it, Mafia?
Cartel?
Cartel. If he's a former cartel member, then he knows how to set up a power structure.
Yeah, it seems that way. So, he's been leading them, been organizing them, and from what I understand, they've taken the courthouse and have set up camp in there. That's where they're based out of.
Do we know approximately how some raw numbers on how much 2% of the population would be?
Well, the city has a population of roughly 50,000. So, 2% would be about 1,000.
All right.
That being said, you don't know
Roughly 2%, right?
roughly. Figures can't be exact in situations like this. We can't exactly take a census. But, again, the 2%ers are just what his militia are calling themselves. They can't possibly encompass the whole 2%, at least not judging by the size of their camp.
No. Because out of the 2% that would have turned, you can expect a smaller number of even them to have actually, I guess, wanted to unionize.
Yeah, and your big friend here is strong evidence of the fact that not all of them are on his side. Imagine there's a lot of people that are sticking to themselves.
So if we're going to expect, let's say, if 10% of those that turned decided to join El Salvador, that's about 100 tyrants on the high side.
Yeah. That probably seems like a bit more realistic of an expectation for his forces. And he motions to a nearby table. They have like photographs and stuff from their scouting excursions, and it's just like, yeah, that's their camp. They've got tents set up in the parking lot, several others that go in and out of the building, some guards set up. Maybe 50 to 100 of them in total there.
That would sound about right. All right. I made a few phone calls on the way here. I've got some contacts that might be able to come in and help us out.
Contacts would be
If
helpful.
you want to just straight up roll through and tear some ass on the way, I've got just the guys willing to do that. They're coming in. They're armed and dangerous.
By the way, that last phone call brought you down to 30% on your battery life. He says, yeah.
I'm waiting for a text.
Now, if you're wondering why the city seems so scarce when nearly half of the population was completely unaffected by the virus, well, quite frankly, in the first few hours, a lot of those unaffected people tried to get out of Dodge. But the highways became death traps. They're crowded with infected, and those who had tried to leave the city ended up backing up those highways, became a funnel. Most civilians that tried to escape immediately were immediately killed. And then that created more infected. And now all of a sudden, with all the survivors being significantly outnumbered, just snowballed from there.
Wait, so all the main roads coming in and out of the city would then be blocked?
Essentially.
Oh, that's a problem.
The U.S. Army has set up a perimeter to sort of quarantine the city as is, much like they did back in Raccoon City. Got blockades, cutting off all the highways. And we've been in touch with them, but they're refusing to send birds for mass inner-city evac till the 2%er ground forces are neutralized. Problem is, they won't send their own troops to fight those forces. Bioterrorism is the domain of the BSAA, so they're waiting on the BSAA's input first.
That's not going to happen anytime soon. Oh, wait, no, I don't know that.
Yeah, however, the BSAA
Wait, no, I do know that.
Has been slow to respond to their communications after suffering several attacks of their own.
Yep. The problem is there's too many chains of command and all of them are being broken. We're going to have to act whether there's protocol for it or not. The faster we act, the better the outcome is going to be.
Yeah, so problem is, got a rather meager fighting force here now. My men are well trained, but we're relatively few in number. I don't see a full-on raid of that courthouse going down smoothly without bolstering ourselves a little bit.
Don't worry, I got that. My only problem right now is trying to see how they're going to get into the city. They're going to have to make it past the army guard, and they're going to need the highways.
Well, I don't see getting into the city being much of a problem. The army will shoot you trying to get out. But if someone wants to go in, that's their own prerogative.
So then. So I'm waiting on a call to see how my forces are going to be holding up. You've got your guys. We got Big Man. And we got the ace in the hole. I'm pointing at me and X.
And Lieutenant Stanley just like steps forward to it, just like and nods, like and holds his claw up, like you've got my blade type of position.
And my blade.
That's awesome.
And
my rifle.
And Carter Banks just steps forward again. He's just like, don't see why the U.S. Army can't just start flying us out. Alex just like, not that cut and dry, sir. You're harboring a lot of civilians here. And they're going to prioritize them over some mercs and corporates. So, if they know we have civilians, they're going to do a mass evac if they're going to do one at all. They're not going to risk that while this place is a war zone.
All right. If we want to get some work done, we're going to have to get going. Taking a look at the maps that they have of the of their camp. What's like the general layout of it? Do you have that?
They don't. They're not maps per se. They're just sort of
or just like
photographs.
Photos.
Yeah.
Like is it so the courthouse? Is it like surrounded by a bunch of other buildings, more out in the open?
It's kind of on. It's in the middle of this open parking lot. Essentially, it's this large lot that's just the. Yeah, a lot of it is for parking, but it's this large lot and the building is at the center of it, so it doesn't really have a lot of surrounding buildings that are very nearby to it. But it's just, yeah, this building at the center with these pillars across its front. And then there looks to be a bunch of sort of makeshift tents and whatnot set up outside of it amongst the cars in the parking lot. That's about it as far as layout that you can discern.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we're not going to be able to get there. We're not going to be able to get in without being seen. Just open all around.
Ugh. Best shot we have is scouting by night. We've gotten a few scouts pretty close. And, like I said, they're organized, but not that well trained. You have to keep in mind these are mostly former civilians that have been rallied by a charismatic leader. So, they don't entirely know what to look for when it comes to scouting patterns. Like I said, we've gotten people pretty close. Tyrants are supposed to see pretty well even in the dark, but under the darkness of night, with our well-trained boys, we've gotten close enough at least to get these photos. So if we were really to commit to it, we could probably get inside. Only a few of them are dedicated guards.
Lieutenant, on a scale of... On a scale of I can see pretty good in the dark versus it's no different to me in the daytime, how good is your night vision? And I'm giving him like a different levels to indicate which one.
You sort of
like pretty good or like it's basically the same thing as daytime for him.
And he like holds his hand out and he's like, "Nyeh," and sort of brings it up like sort of near his head, like pretty high up, but you know, not as good as daytime, but pretty high.
So like an 8 out of 10. So I'm wondering then if they're going to have better nighttime vision than we are, if we just do it during the daytime, that way we have at least an equal advantage as they do.
It's fair enough. From what I understand, their leader likes to hold up in the courthouse building itself, of course, keeping the luxury suites for his own, and so he only comes out to rally them every so often and then lead them out on raids into the town.
Supply runs?
Things of that nature. They're also gathering survivors. A sort of slave workforce, if you will. At least that's what it seems. Just gather humans, intimidate them, put them to work.
We're talking about a hostage situation then.
Yeah.
Maybe a full-on front-facing approach may not be the best way.
It's possible. But I don't know where you stand. But we're just trying to get out of here. It's worth some collateral damage. It means winning the battle and getting out ourselves. Not to mention all the other survivors we have here. He kind of motions to another door, and you get the sense there's some more chambers where some of those survivors that you'd heard about, a lot of civilians were gathered here.
Mm-hmm. So what's your play then? Are you planning more so to get your guys out by any means?
And he just sort of nods and he's like, yeah, pretty much it.
Certainly makes it easier. Do you have a way you're looking to get out? Are you talking?
Like I said, the army can begin mass evac once this militia has been dealt with.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you don't want to deal with the militia, do you have other way to get out?
This is our only option at this time.
All right, so we're taking out that militia. So the way I see it, the best way, looking at everyone else, is like the way I see it, the best options I think we have are to divide and conquer. We're going to need to isolate as many of their groups while they're out doing scouting runs, and pick them off one at a time.
And Carter just sort of chimes in. He's just like, and who put you in charge?
Quiet. The adults are talking.
And you hear another door off to the side open up as a red oracle mark comes through and says, Captain, you want to take a look at this? He sort of motions him into another chamber. He's just like, excuse me, as Malik follows him through. You see the door that they go through leads into looks to be a sort of conference chamber. There are a number of sort of monitors that are hung up on the wall. And you saw some monitors as well that were on in the lobby as you came in. That were basically, it seems like every screen in the building is turned on to the news. And is just sort of trying to keep up to date with the whole situation. But you see the sort of television screen starting to go a little staticky. And then sort of distorting into glitched pixels. And everybody in the room is sort of like whispering amongst themselves. And this goes on for a little while as the news broadcast that was playing sort of goes in and out until finally it is replaced with a different image. One of an individual standing in center frame. A man Mr. G recognizes as Walker.
Fucking nerd.
And the chatter begins to die down as people just listen in on what he has to say. He stands there in his blue suit and he says, "Hello, world. By now you have noticed the outbreaks in San Martinez, Guadalajara, and Manila. Do not fear these events. All is going according to plan. And you see Malik is off to the side conversing with a couple of other of his men. One of them's like on next to another monitor and flipping through the channels. It's just like, it's on every channel. Imagine a world without war, without illness, without disease, without aging. In the world that I see, we have no need of doctors. There are no ailments the body itself will not cure. We have no need of hospices. No one dies of old age. We have no need of borders. All have become one people. This is the world made possible through viral research. Long have your leaders demonized these viruses as dangerous. Even the most benevolent research has been deemed illegal. But with our newly researched ACT process, we have developed viruses that can elevate humanity beyond its natural bounds. Still, many will become monsters, but some will become more. I am Dr. Elliot Walker. We are the Manifold. The world that I see is at hand. These outbreaks are but previews. Very soon, the rest of the world will follow. Then it just sort of goes staticky and then glitches out again before returning to the regular program that was going previously.
Huh. That sounds like a man with a mission.
Makes a compelling point.
So that is Elliot Walker.
That's your daddy.
He seems like a very intelligent man.
Extremely intelligent. The smartest.
He knows what he is doing.
Clearly, I mean, for the most part, his plan is working. He's managed to throw us off of his trail for quite a long time. Our mission failed today because of, I guess, his willingness to pull the trigger.
Why are you against him?
That's my job. I'm getting paid to.
I see.
Don't really care if his world is better or not.
You see off to the side, Malik is still gathered with a couple of his men and seems to be in the middle of some sort of intense discourse.
Question. Through this, would this have been a short rest time?
Yeah, I would say, yeah, you could
I've got
be taking a
8
short
data
rest
points
over the course of
missing.
this.
But while you're discussing, is there like a I don't know, like a doctor around, or like some sort of like medical combat medic around somewhere?
Do you ask around?
Yeah, I'm like, while they're discussing, I'm just gonna be like, by the way, anybody have green herb? I really could use a green herb right now.
And you ask around, and they point you in the direction of a medic with Red Oracle, and they're just like, "Oh yeah, we got some medical supplies on hand, but running a bit low."
I just need a singular green herb if you've got one.
Yeah, I've got
Looking
some
to toke up before we go to battle.
got some materials to patch you up, but nothing in the way of an herb, sadly. There is a natural remedy shop in downtown. Might be able to have better luck there if you're out and about.
All right. Hit me up with the address. I'll rate it on the way.
All right, he writes it down for you.
I need to consume this yellow herb.
Yeah.
Malik still yelling?
Their discourse seems to be completed, and he's sort of walking back over to you now, and all of the civilians in the room seem to have gotten kind of loud and are kind of all discussing amongst themselves now, and he just, like, shakes his head and heads back into the chamber that you were in previously. And Carter and Clarice are still, are kind of funneled back in there as well, and they seem to have witnessed the entire sort of display that just went on as well, as everyone, it seems maybe even the entire world was watching. And Clarice is just like, oh man, this whole situation just keeps getting worse. I mean, how are we supposed to get out of here? And Carter's just like, oh yeah, well, it was only a matter of time before somebody claimed responsibility for the whole mess. That's not our concern though, we just need to get out of here and survive.
Welcome to the adult stable.
I don't know if I take kindly to your attitude, mister.
That's fine. So,
I'll have you know I'm the vice president of a very large and reputable mercenary company. You better watch your tone when you're around me.
how about this? When the dust settles, and you regain all the benefits that you have of your vice presidency, find every piece of dirt you have on yourself, lock it up in a safe, stick it under your bed, make sure I never see it. Because someday someone's going to come for your company, and they're going to hire me.
Make an intimidation check.
25.
He just like, so you give him the sort of stare down, you know. He locks eyes with you for a second before you see his eyes just sort of flutter away, and he just kind of looks away and shuts up. And Malik just comes in just like, huh. All right. Well, now that that's through with, I've got some bad news.
It's the best kind of news.
Some scouts just brought in a new report. Seems the 2%ers are gathering themselves and, according to what they've been able to overhear, preparing for an attack.
So that was their go
Just
signal.
like, but an attack on where? Malik just looks at him and just says, here. They know we're here. They know we got a bunch of civvies holed up. They're coming for this office. And they also know that we're the last threat against them.
I thought you said this was bad news.
Well, it's bad. Potentially bad news. The way I
This
see
is
it,
good news.
we either wait for them to come here, or we try to subvert this attack by hitting them first.
You guys are a pretty top security company. I've had you're at least top 2 for security systems that are the toughest for me to break through. You are in your home turf. An unorganized military militia that is on the march is much less dangerous than an unorganized military militia on their home turf.
Fair point.
If all you guys need to do is bunker down here, defend this point. Me and X, we can go out. We can start picking them off as they're coming in. We can try to look for the big guy. We can try to look for the voice. Cut the snake's head off.
X?
It's on.
I would have used her actually, or the name she gave.
Oh,
she
yeah.
gave.
It was Evelyn. Right?
Which name did you give?
Evelyn.
Evelyn. I like that name. I think I know where that name came from. Yeah, me and Evelyn, we can go out. We can start picking them off one by one as they're coming in. At the very least, what we can start doing is try to put the fear of bullets into their head.
And Clarice Cortez is just like, oh, no. This is Kelly Systems' office. We're talking about bringing a battle here. This is my office. I'm the manager of this office, and we can't be going having a firefight here.
I mean, that's kind of out of the question at this point. To be fair, and I'll just go ahead and throw my 2 cents in. You can't do anything. You're here under protection, right? At the moment in time, yeah, everybody else protecting you and all the other civilians here. So, when something's on the way to come and attack, at this point, you don't have a say in whether the firefight's going to be here or not, because they're going to come in and wreck this place regardless if they do break through. So you're going to have to deal with it.
And she goes kind of timid and just sort of shrinks into her corner. And Carter's just like, all right. We just all need to calm down here. Everything's going to be all right, Miss Cortez. We'll take careful care of you. Red Oracles, specializes in these sorts of matters, and we'll make sure minimal damage comes to this building. You see him just being all diplomatic, maintaining his client.
Like, we cannot assure that. We can assure that we can get as many of you out as possible. Nope, we can't even assure that. I'm going to kill as many people as possible. I'm going to do what I do best. And if you guys want to help, you're going to sit down, you're going to find a nice cuddly corner, and you're going to barricade the hell out of it.
I like this guy. The way I see it,
we's a pair.
We're still significantly outnumbered. We're going to need some fighting forces. I would have liked to have the army in on this, but they're not moving. Not until the BSAA moves. You said you've got people on the way?
Check my phone for a text.
Nothing yet?
I should.
Well, according to our intel, that attack's not coming until tomorrow night. So we've got time to prepare. Well, we here in Red Oracle are able to do our part. We have your tyrant. He kind of looks up to the tyrant. He's like, from our communications, I understand the Navy's just waiting to make their move. We give them a time and a place. They said they would be there. Think we could get them in on this? And Tyrant just kind of nods a bit and motions to you. And so you're the mouthpiece for that side right now.
With my 14 charisma.
Oh, well, we'll need to gather what we can. Well, the way I see it, been a long day. My men just got back from some pretty dangerous scouting. We're exhausted and we need rest, especially the day before a fight. This place is pretty secure. We rotate shifts on guard. So feel free to catch some sleep while you still can.
Yeah, we've been traveling since, like, up until midnight, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a rest would be nice.
I agree. I need to self-repair.
So tomorrow,
All right.
get to work on preparations. Anything you need to do? I want to do any scouting of your own, running around the city?
They can. We can talk to the Navy from here, right? We can let them know what's going on.
Yeah, you know there's a receiving comm system here that they've been communicating through.
other than just being able to let Sly know what the dealio is. Actually, I kind of do want to do some quick scouting around the immediate area. I just want to find the tallest building that has a line of sight directly to the Red Oracle, or to the Kelly Systems office.
Okay. So you're doing that on this night or the next day?
This night before we sleep.
Okay. So you head out. Go ahead and make an investigations check. I would say you could get to rooftop access on here, and then you can just use your hook shot to get to any other of the surrounding buildings and look for the best perch.
Don't I have something with investigate? Oh no, that's only if I have a creature spotted. 19.
All right. So you head out to the rooftop access atop the Kelly Systems office, hook shot to a nearby taller building, and from there are able to just move across and start looking around in a few blocks radius to find the best view. You are actually able to find what looks to be a pretty tall bank building that's nearby. Has a good number of floors to it. San Martinez is quite a small town, generally speaking, so there aren't a lot of, skyscrapers or anything of that nature. But that seems to be the tallest building within a few block radius. And so you head to that, and that's maybe 2-3 blocks away. And you're able to get a pretty good view on the office from there. And you're also able to see out in, pretty much all the other directions, and you see the large cityscape looming before you and all the fires still billowing up from some of the blocks. And
just like looking over this ruined city and just like, it's really beautiful. What's the distance between this building and Kelly Systems? Just for rifle's sake.
Let's say maybe about 1,000 feet.
Nah, just outside of my optimal, but it's still fine. Okay, I'll keep that location in mind.
All right. So, you head back to the office and settle in for a rest then?
Yeah, I'll settle up with everybody else. Actually, where was that herb shop?
You're looking for the natural remedy shop?
Yeah, I'm already out and about.
On your own?
Yeah.
All right. So it is in downtown, so it's quite a travel.
I'm not gonna go there.
Okay. Yeah, because you're currently in Uptown with the Kelly Systems office is at.
Yeah, I'm heading back to Kelly.
But yeah, you do know. Actually, I guess you don't know the city too well, so you don't know the sort of lay of the land. But yeah. From the general directions the medic was able to give you, yeah, you understand it's quite a ways out. All right, so you head back to bed down in the office. All of you sort of find yourselves to various, cubbies or sleeping under desks or anywhere that you could find that you can make yourself comfortable in this office environment. And
it's better than most places I sleep out in the field.
Yeah, the carpet is softer than a lot of alternatives. The large tyrant, Lieutenant Stanley, finds his own corner, sort of sits with it, is back in the corner watching all of the sort of bullpen area. Tries to find some rest of his own.
So just confirming, we got back with the Navy.
Mm-hmm. Did you get back with the Navy at this point?
Oh yeah. All of this before we knock out for the night. But fill them in with everything that's going on.
Okay.
Let them know of the incoming attack and whatnot.
All right.
But I'm gonna keep an eye on my phone looking for the messages for the Hell's Angels.
All right. to keep an eye on it every so often. Nothing seems to come before you start floating off to sleep. And you're sort of nodding, trying to, keep yourself awake, but nothing ultimately.
Just as long as it's feasibly possible.
Mm-hmm. Eventually, you just sort of nod, and shut your eyes, and don't wake up for the rest of the night. Anything the rest of you are trying to do before you bed down here?
Nah. Just gonna kick back and sleep.
All right. And
Do
you?
you have any orders for me before I temporarily shut down?
I don't think we need you to do anything. Currently, it's just preparation.
Yeah.
Understood.
Does she need a full 8 hours of sleep like the rest of us, or long rest?
I believe
I feel like
so.
it's just a I feel like it's just a construct, like 6 hours
Let me see.
of like downtime.
Also need to see.
No, yeah. She does need the full 8 hours in low power mode. But again,
Oh.
she just kind of goes to a sort of dormant state. Do you see where she still seems to be active, just unmoving and not fully powered. She's just sort of standing up in another corner and just dormant.
Do full hit points during a long rest, or do you have to use hit dice?
You recover half during a long rest, so you can use up to half
And
and
you
get those back.
It's true. Yeah,
Or
you can use the hit
full
dice
and get half back anyways.
Yeah, you can use the hit dice during the rest itself. So,
Okay.
if any of you would like to roll for hit points, and yeah, you do get that. You do get half of your total hit dice back on a long rest as well.
Is it half to the lowest, half to the highest?
I think we said rounding up for that, just because
yeah.
our long rest
Okay.
Benefiting
mechanics are
players.
more survival based. So, since you don't get the full hit points, might as well give you more hit dice. So, yeah, if you guys would like, you could roll for your hit dice and whatnot, and mark that you get half back from whatever's left.
I already did.
Or after
I had to roll
whatever's
I
left.
three
don't think I've
hit
rolled
dice.
hit dice before. Do you add your constitution to it?
Yeah,
Yes.
you do.
You had your constitution to every dice.
Yes,
if you're
each
rolling
individual
5
dice.
dice-
Yeah.
If you're rolling 5 dice, add 5 times your constitution.
But as this is going on and you all are finding your rest, meanwhile, in Chicago, as the morning sun continues to rise over the now sort of partially ruined Camp Clancy in the aftermath of the big battle, Chauncey, as you head through that broken wall and see the communication awaiting you in the war room terminal, you sort of approach it and find what seems to be a message from Naval Base Martinez. The message indicates that the CIA agents that were deployed from their base never came back. But they do also indicate that they are in need of immediate reinforcements to fight a citywide T-virus outbreak. They seem to have been trying to contact the BSAA quite a bit, but this is the first you've been able to have a chance to respond to them.
Is it direct contact right now, or is that just like there's just the messages there?
Basically just messages like that's been left for you, and you can like send a reply basically that they will get at some point.
Am I able to check to see who's all received that message for the BSSA?
From what you
BSAA?
understand, it seems to have gone out to quite a few, to like the entire North American branch, but nobody has seemed to have had a chance to respond to it.
We're still getting over like that battle right now.
Basically.
Can I get like an update on the current status of that outbreak? Like how, like what kind of level it would be threat wise?
Yeah, and with the resources at your disposal, and the everything that's been circulating on the news and on your BSAA intel that you could access from that terminal, yeah, you can actually discover quite a bit of that on your own, and as well as inquire for some more inside information from the Navy. But from what you see, it looks pretty bad, or at least fairly bad. The missile that detonated over the city seemed to have unleashed the T-virus, and at least half of the population has been infected. And roughly, the estimates that are being given now is that 48% of the population was unaffected, and 2% have become sort of tyrant creatures.
Is there anybody else in this room with me at the moment, or am I by myself? Like, where is the rest of my group?
You're basically by yourself. This is sort of the early morning hours in the aftermath of the battle. Everybody's trying to catch some rest, and you being the captain have sort of been the last one up and at 'em.
Can I rally the troops into my office, into the war room?
All right. So you go out and wake them back up after just starting to doze off. PGP just among them, just sir.
I need to speak with all personnel.
You heard the captain. All hands on deck.
Meet in the war room, and then I just walk back to the war room and like get on the other side as everybody can pile in to the room.
All right, one by one, you see all your troops as word gets around, and they pass it on throughout the barracks. The captain's calling a meeting, and one by one they fall into that room and sort of form a semicircle facing you on the other side of the table.
I'm gonna let you guys know now that we fought a hefty battle last night. I know we're not well rested, but we are soldiers, and we don't quit. So this message right here is saying that our assistance is needed. Guess what, boys? Packing things up, we're going. And I swipe a message out, says, "We got this."
So you send that communication out, and you ready the troops to head out. You rally everyone. You don't have any means of air transport from Camp Clancy, from what I understand, but you do have nearby sort of military encampments who's that are able to give you air transport across.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I ever like request like a warbird to come and just pick us up?
Yeah, like a C-130 transport type of thing to get the whole unit in. And you all are able to take a long rest, I'll say, over the course of the flight. Well, probably won't. It'll probably extend a little bit, past the flight. But you touch down nearby the naval base within a few hours, and then are able to finish your rest within there if you would like, as it's pretty well protected. And the naval base, as Mr. G and the others saw when they arrived earlier, isn't too active right now. They probably killed the last 2 infected that were still running around there. So there is a good chance to sort of hunker down and get a long rest for the whole team upon landing there. But it is running into around maybe noontime, pushing a little bit past noon, maybe around 1 p.m. by the time you all are fully rested and landed in San Martinez, California.
Okay. Um,
And over the
have to
community.
pull up my thing or roll some dice.
All right.
Not very many, just a few.
Right.
Only-
Yeah, you're going.
only got a little hurt.
You're
I
still
only
fresh
got a
off
little
that
hurt.
battle.
I'm only a little hurt, not a lot. Don't worry. I think
Still a
maybe
little
one or two dice
So-
will do.
So Nadine is there, or like,
She is technically in your unit.
dang, here we
Is
go.
John there?
John is technically not in his unit.
I am a civilian.
You are a
But
civilian.
John is a civilian.
You're still back at the camp.
Well,
John's a hell of a civilian.
Put to work repairing everything.
There's still got to be people that are still going to secure the
Yeah.
camp. Like that, not all personnel have gone. So,
Hey man, I'm just an instructor.
well, you
I can
instruct
keep you
these
guys out.
guys as I'm fixing the situation here. Instruct them. Go ahead. You're good.
All right, everyone, sleep.
Okay, so I get half of them back. All right. Yeah, I shouldn't need very many. Sorry, I'm still pulling up my.
It's all good. Actually, while you're doing that, I think we could go ahead and cut back to the other group, and then we'll get back to you in a moment. But
Oh, we woke up again.
meanwhile, it's maybe around 10, 11 in the morning by the time you guys wake up over in the Kelly Systems office. And
Wait, it was what?
I just said it's maybe 10, 11 in the morning when you guys wake up in
Oh,
the
okay,
Kelly
got it.
Systems office.
Okay.
And it's a little bustling, you know, obviously a lot of people being in that building. It stays pretty active. The mercs are all going about staying organized. All of the civilians in the other chamber in the conference room are gathering for basically breakfast, and gathering what rations can be distributed to them. The general atmosphere seems pretty, downtrodden. The spirits are low.
How's everyone looking so down for?
And Carter overhears you, is just like, now what do you think? This whole situation stinks. A lot of these people have lost friends
We
and
had
family.
a shower.
You understand what I mean. Between you and me, we are running a little low on supplies. Despite all the scavenging parties that our mercenaries are going out on, we don't quite have enough to sustain these civilians for more than a couple days.
We won't need any more than a couple days.
Yeah, I hope you're right. And if you're
Well,
wrong, we're
I
all
am
dead
right.
anyway.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly the way to think. We're either going to survive or you're not. A couple days from now, you're either going to be eaten or eaten at a hospital outside of the state, or you're going to be in a shallow grave, shat on by a tyrant.
Ah,
Of those two possibilities, which one do you find more preferable?
where does our government find you guys?
Same places that people find you to run businesses.
The savagery.
Fatality.
I'm If it isn't obvious, Mr. G's a bully. If he smells weakness. Freaking nerd.
Do you want me to just go ahead and start rolling the?
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah,
hit
you could
dice
go ahead
roll?
and roll your hit dice. But meanwhile, the rest of you also come to wake up. Enyo,
Oh no, don't activate.
that upon coming out of your low power mode, that rumbling sensation that you have felt within yourself since coming online, more than 24 hours prior, continues to escalate. Your body is just thrumming with just pretty intense vibrations at this point, as you feel just like this surge of energy coming through you upon waking up. you, as you come online and as you start to move around, you just feel reinvigorated, more so than with your last rest. And you feel various sections of your armor just like sort of moving and just expanding and letting out heat and doing various sorts of things as you feel new mechanisms begin to come online as that reverberation within you just mounts and mounts and swells to a point where you feel upgraded. So, you are now an evolved level 12, and you gain a mutation of your choice.
Oh?
Oh, I leveled up.
Sweet.
It's my choice. Oh.
All right, that's awesome. That's really cool.
Also roll a d10 and add your con modifier.
Not yet.
Oh, yeah.
She needs a yellow orb. I need a yellow orb.
You don't need a yellow orb.
I need a yellow herb. Me up.
Roll?
Does Chauncey still need a yellow orb?
Ooh.
That's pretty
I
good.
don't know. Maybe. I'll take one if you're handing them out.
That's really good.
That is really good. So your maximum hit points increase by 12. And I'll say you could increase your current hit points by that amount as well as this level up happens.
Yay.
Can I be a robot?
I guess now's a good time never to bring it up to the party. I wasn't sure when to bring up the rumbling to the party, because I figured if it was away from everyone else, it'd be like, oh, well, I guess Mr. G's gonna kill Enyo now because she's probably gonna blow up.
Like, I mean, Mr. G's like watching you, just like gigging in the corner, and just like, robots awake. All right, no, we're good.
Okay, cool. I've updated my hit points. Patient. But as she wakes up,
Oh, what was that?
Raph?
happened.
What happened?
Hello?
Enya wakes up.
Oh,
Yeah, wakes up.
yeah. I mean, she's awake. You're free to do what you will.
Is Mr. G in the room?
I'm probably moving between different rooms.
Yeah.
I'll be hanging out with some of the civilians, just to like, just shooting the shit, doing Mr. G things. And then occasionally walking past the freaking vice president dude just to like stare at him. Try to get his lunch money.
Is the closest to her? Like, would it be quicker to find Miss X, or would it be quicker to find Mr. G?
I mean, Miss X hasn't moved. So
She's in the
I would
room?
assume, yeah, I would assume she's still in the room. She hasn't moved. Like, she's awake.
She's meditating.
Yeah. she the way that I see her waking up is just kind of there, laying there, staring up at the ceiling, legs crossed.
Eddie walks
Like-
over, just, like, stands over her.
she's just like, oh, hey, you're blocking the sun a little bit.
It will only be for a moment.
Yeah, that's fine. What's up?
You know if there is a mechanic here.
No, I'm not sure, actually. I mean, you can go find one if you want. I mean,
I had some sort of unprecedented upgrade.
oh? What? She just slowly stands up and is just like, what do you mean?
I am unsure how to describe it. But my system's upgraded. Without intention.
Right. So, you mind if I take a look myself real quick? No, I'm good with technology. I am.
As long as you don't break anything.
Of course. Actually, we should probably get Mr. G here too.
Does he know about technology?
I think so. Hold on. Jason!
Just like pop my head out of the room. It's like, I'm eating breakfast.
I kind of need you over here for a moment. It's important.
Got my MRE bag.
So you know about technology, right? That's
No.
what Oh. Well, I guess it's only me.
Go ahead and make a technology check, Mrs. X.
I'm a script kitty. I just have somebody down at the R&D put scripts on the USB and I plug it in.
17.
So, 17. So, giving her a once-over, she seems to be still the same Enyo you knew, but you do feel like if you essentially touch the surface of her chrome skin, that you do feel a little bit of that rumbling sensation, sort of near her, the center of her body, kind of near the chest area is where it's strongest. But yeah, she does seem to be quite limber and quite energized. You're not entirely sure what kind of power source she has within that's capable of powering such a machine, but it seems to be doing its work and somehow continuing to escalate in its output as the longer she's remaining online rather than decline.
And she's just like, that's incredible. And I don't know anything about how you were built, anything like that, but you just
Elliot
have
Walker is an incredible man.
Right. Well, actually, probably, at least in terms of intelligence, but I don't know, personality-wise, hey, it's not that bad. It's good. But, so I don't know what's happening with you specifically. I just know that whatever power source you have there is just, it's going. It is going and going and going. It's crazy. This is intense.
So she's an Energizer bunny.
Acting up since I first awoke.
Since you first awoke, what?
You both first woke me up. I have felt a strange disturbance in my chest.
But the way that you explained to, just not too long ago is that you feel, I guess, upgraded. So,
Correct.
I'm not sure how that works, but it's doing it's doing what it needs. It's doing wonders. So it's a good thing, I'm guessing. We could go get a mechanic, see if there's one here to take a deeper look, because if you want that. But
Mr. G is just gonna walk up to her and just with a plastic fork in his mouth and just no need to call a mechanic. See what you're feeling. That's called love. And she just walks out.
So,
Love.
Miss X just
Baby, don't
blinks.
hurt me.
Mrs. X just blinks a few times.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Oh. Don't worry about that. No, we know you're doing good. You still want a mechanic? Are you good with the results right now? Because it's nothing negative that I can tell.
If you cannot see anything negative, then there is no point from distracting from the mission.
All right. Then we're good.
All right, so as you guys break up, Enyo, as you continue going about, even with this new peak that you have sort of reached, you do still feel that rumbling sensation within, continuing to grow. So, is there anything you guys are going to be going about doing?
I guess. I'll let anyone else go first because I have a plan.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah. I'm probably gonna ask around, like if Malik's around or if somebody's around. It's just like, do you know any places that might have spare ammunition? 'Cause I need shotgun ammo and some pistol.
Malik would point out to
Yeah.
you, he's just like, we could spare a few rounds of each here, but we're running pretty low ourselves.
If you need handgun, I can give you my handgun ammo.
Oh, yeah.
I won't be using it.
Okay, yeah, I do need it. Just
And Malik's just like, hold on. Yeah, he's just like, well, the way I see it, spreading out our supplies can be worthwhile, considering the two of you seem to be pretty well trained. Here, have a few shells. And he hands you over a carton with 5 12-gauge shotgun shells within.
all right. She's like, thank you. She just puts that in her bandolier.
All right.
And you needed a handgun, right?
Yes. All I
how
have
much-
is what's in the clip. It's like 15. So-
I'll give you 47. That's my full handgun, 9mm.
All right. Thank you.
And Malik also points out to you, he's like, also our comms officer has heard news. Apparently our Navy friends down at the port have been contacted by the BSAA. Unit from Camp Clancy is en route to the city.
Mm-hmm. That's good news.
Hopefully they'll be able to join us in this fight. They could get to us in time.
Do we know if we have any communications directly?
Not that I know of. We'd have to find a way of getting in touch with somebody on that unit, whatever local frequencies they may be using.
Yeah, looks like we might be out of luck then.
Would you happen to have any magnum ammunition?
Unfortunately not.
That is unfortunate.
If you guys need supplies, might be worth doing a scavenging run. Or everything goes down tonight.
I actually definitely need to do that.
Alright. Do you need accompaniment, or?
We move faster on our own. Oh, the three of us? We're gonna go so fast.
Yeah.
You know, I'm a
Shanti
pretty-
wants to know if you would have been able to get ammo from camp.
Actually, yeah.
Oh yeah, I would say yeah, you would have been able to collect on your way out since you have access to the armory, but bear in mind the armory hasn't gotten restocked yet.
Restocked?
It's technically gets restocked after each adventure, and technically there was a bit of an adventure break in there, but also technically you guys just went straight from one thing to the next. So whatever would have been
The only
left
thing-
from, because there was
The only
technically
thing
no
he
difference
would
in
have
time from there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Only thing G would have taken is he clears out 762 every time.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna
So-
say.
I don't think anyone else used a 7.62 though.
I was gonna say, is there any like 5.56 NATO?
That's a good question. I mean, I don't know what you guys took last time. You came through there before the.
The only thing I've taken is 7.62.
And Tara takes all the grenades, or the grenade rounds
Right, yeah.
and everything. So
Can't remember if Chauncey took anything. But
I know. I think we're always stocked on handgun. We don't take handgun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You have a lot of handgun.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys,
Can I
yeah.
have some of that shotgun?
Yeah, I think the 5.56. Okay, you don't recall taking any. So yeah, you guys would have everything except then the grenade rounds and the rifle rounds.
Okay. Cool.
So that's for Chauncey to carry at Camp Clancy.
And you're doing some nice reloading.
Oh yeah.
Get on it.
Reload that gun. What does that look like? Actually, that's a question. What does that look like? I want to know what that looks like.
Reloading?
Yeah, that is a good
You're
question.
still in robot.
You are still in robot, but
Her ammunition's stored in her body, so it's just kind of like this, like,
Big
clicking, like, mechanical sounds. Pretty much.
that's neat. That's neat.
I'm thinking like, do you guys? I think there's like a scene in Portal 2 where you see the internal mechanisms of a turret, something like that. Like
Huh.
while they're being built, they've got like these bullet belts that's in them that they cycle through.
Oh yeah.
I'm imagining that. Just you have like a belt of bullets just like feeding into your arms.
Yeah, probably.
Again, you're still robot.
You are still a robot, but with your voice, that is. But it's kind of funny when you're just describing normal things in robot voice.
And she just like
Wait, I
breaks.
still have it on?
Yeah, it's still on.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
like she just breaks out of the game for a moment just to look at the screen and just starts talking.
Yeah, the broken ones. I honestly don't remember that part. That's neat.
Yeah.
But yeah, so you all gear up as best you can. But Malik was pointing out, he was like, well, you know, I move pretty fast myself.
Yeah.
And he kind of gives an almost, you guys have done a lot to win him over, but an almost untrusting look.
You can trust us.
Well, I think I trust myself a lot. I want to see what you get up to.
All right.
All right.
Well, let's see if you can catch up. Not with us, with her.
And he's like, all right. He pulls down
possible
his.
for you to catch up to my level of functionality.
This one has some spunk. I'm saying, like,
I see
You are
that.
just a human. I am a machine built for destruction. We are on two different levels.
See?
Yeah, spunk. And he goes back and says a few words to some of his men. They seem to nod and heads back to regroup with the rest of you as he pulls his gas mask over his face and readies a shotgun. With his fast 12.
So,
Plus,
oh, before we
I don't-
actually, before
plus
we
I don't
leave,
trust the two of you to be able to navigate the city on your own. No offense.
we can make
oh,
do. Before we leave, actually, Um. mm, Actually, nah, never mind.
All right.
I was gonna discuss the plan, but
Who needs to discuss
Do
the
we-
plan?
do I have a message yet from my in Hells Angels?
You do check your phone. You are down to 25% battery life at this point, but you do have a message back.
Alright.
And it's just a text with a selfie on the road, with a big biker gang moving down the highway.
That's dangerous as shit.
Just on our way.
Yep.
what
I'm
it
going
says.
to. I'm just gonna like flip it open and let Malik know like my army's on the way.
Army, huh? Must be pretty important.
Who, me? Nah.
Alright, so where are we moving out to?
I don't know. You know the city.
Well, what are we looking for?
I need to hit that herbal remedies store first.
Alright, we're heading downtown. It's gonna cut pretty dangerously close to the courthouse. When I see it, we might as well take a sneak peek on them while we're there.
All right. Anyone else need to hit anywhere first? Because I feel like once we get there, nothing's gonna stop me from pulling the trigger.
We're not there to assassinate, this is just reconnaissance.
Everyone keeps saying that. Me and Miss X went into a whole ship to reconnaissance. I think we killed like 6 people just trying to get to the first hallway. Oh yeah, by the way, you weren't there, but we totally murdered a whole lot of people just trying to get through a hallway.
I heard.
Alright then, follow my lead. And you guys head out the front doors, and out onto the warm city streets. Meanwhile, with
Just
Chauncey,
gonna, like... Alright.
as Foxtrot team moves out onto Naval Base Martinez in formation. Everyone taking up their position as you move out, looking around the area, but they find the area clear. It's quiet, but you do know from the communications you receive that the Navy has moved underground with their situation, and you try to follow the directions best you can. But eventually you are found by a Navy scout who directs you back to the main area, a sort of underground hub where Naval Base Martinez is based out of, and you are directed back to Commander Sylvester Denton, who seems to be the leader of this outfit.
Okay.
You must be the reinforcements that were coming in.
Yeah, you can call us the cavalry. We're here.
I'm Commander Denton.
And I'm Captain Clancy.
A pleasure to meet you, Clancy. We're worried that the BSAA would never arrive.
We had our struggles. But as unrested as we are, we're here to help you fight.
Well, we've received some communication. We are in touch with a group in the inner city, mercenaries with Red Oracle Solutions. They are our eyes and ears in the inner city as of this time. They've been scouting around and have a much better lay of the land than we do from down here. They've informed us that of the activities of these 2%ers, this tyrant militia that has been built up by a speaking tyrant leader. They're very dangerous, and they have sort of been looking to take over, it seems. And our last communication we heard from them said that the 2%ers are looking to mount an attack on the Kelly Systems office in Uptown, where the Red Oracle troops are centralized, along with a lot of civilians. the biggest population of survivors that we know of is in that building. But the 2%ers are looking to mount an attack, and the Red Oracle Solutions, along with some allies of ours that were sent their way, are looking to defend. Now, from what they communicate, the army won't come in until that militia has been taken care of. Once the army comes in, this situation can start getting under control and we can start evacuating en masse. But they were waiting for the BSAA to move first.
Okay, let's do it.
From what I understand, the battle is going to happen at night. We know the location, and we're ready to provide support as necessary.
Well, give me the location.
Alright, and then he motions to one of his troops who basically sort of writes down the address for you and gives you and they walk you through some general directions on how to get there through the city or through the underground, whichever you may prefer. But them pointing out that the underground at this time seems to be, while stinkier and a lot less convenient and a lot darker, is a little bit safer than the surface more often than not.
Go that way.
I mean, do my boys care about dirt and grime?
They don't seem very jazzed about the whole prospect.
Well, then I guess we take to the streets.
All right. So you decide to go by way of the surface with these directions, and you hear the commander talking amongst his sailors as you're moving out with him and sort of walking and talking, finishing this meeting as he leads you out their sort of makeshift hideout here. And he says, he's talking with a few sailors and sort of, putting together plans, and he's just like, how are our boats looking? Have any cruisers operational? I'm like, most got taken out in the first in the attacks. But we do have something. And we have some stuff that can make do. Why? And you're sort of let out and given the sort of directions needed to get to the Kelly Systems office from here. And so you take to the surface then?
Yeah, I'll take to the surface.
All right, so you take to the surface and start moving out with your troops. It's a little bit easier to navigate the surface for sure, as the streets are set up in such a way that you're able to find your way given the address and whatnot. But you start moving out. Are you attempting to move out quickly or quietly?
How many of my troops are with me? Like, is it just like
the whole
a
unit.
walking Clancy army?
Yeah.
Then we're just spread out, just walking straight down the street at a quick pace. Like, we are covering the street.
Gotcha.
Soldier tactics, like push and clear.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So, for the most part, you're able to rely on your troops to avoid or take out any stray, sort of bands of zombies that you come across. And for the most part, you're able to do so quietly, given your numbers, not having to resort to firearms necessarily, unless the group gets too big, in which case you all are able to sort of avoid them. Okay, you guys actually managed to push through the surface in the city without any major incident, and start making your way uptown towards that office. So,
I'm sorry. I'm just picturing like a whole group of people. Like, here's a zombie. They all just group around and beat him with guns. Like, shoot. Stealth kill. Just beating him with a gun.
Just stomping him out like, yeah, get some.
Conserve your ammo.
Nadine's
Beat
got
them
knuckle
down.
dusters.
yeah, it's true. Nadine just like
Nadine has knuckle dusters, so she's just walking up like
with her freaking tentacle arms, just.
Yep.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's just I had to get that image out of my head.
No, yeah. I mean, you pretty much run your unit the way you run your unit. So if you say that's how it's going,
That's the Clancy way.
Conserve ammo, fellas. Let's beat them down.
Everyone's just like, all right. Everyone's
Just walk past. I kick over a stop sign and have now this metal bar that I'm walking around with beating things down.
You're just going full Dead Rising on the joint.
Yep.
But yeah, you're able to make by without any major incident. No big groups that require any sort of encounter to play out. But you all start moving out and heading towards that office, moving through the downtown area, and on your way to Uptown. Meanwhile, with Mr. G and company, where are you all bound for?
We're headed to the smoke shop.
All right, you head for the Natural Remedies joint, and you're sort of led onward. As you guys are moving out, you're actually pretty surprised by how readily Malik is able to keep pace with y'all. He's able to move pretty much as quickly and as quietly, and he seems pretty well trained.
Yeah.
Can he move as quickly as Enya?
Not quite that fast, but that's unnatural. By the way, did you pick your mutation?
Yeah, I'm going. I considered for a moment Metamorphosis 1, but
that would be so cool.
That would be so.
don't make me change my mind.
What are you going with? What's Enyo going with?
Physicality 3.
Okay, so you go in the next
Ooh,
leg
yeah,
up.
yeah.
So adjust your stats as such. I guess
Is
we're
that
having
full
a-
physicality?
Yeah, so far.
Is there another one after that? Or
Full
is that it?
physicality so far.
Well, there's still two
No,
more
like,
grades
what-
after that.
Oh, okay.
All the
Yeah.
grades go up to 5. But
Go up to 5. Okay, I thought they went up to 3.
yeah, so adjust your stats accordingly, and your bonuses if that changes any of your attack bonuses or anything like that. Bear that in mind.
Maybe.
Or I guess depending on what bonus you get, it could be affect your AC too. But all right, so your
Even more
upgrades
tanky.
have been thoroughly sort of committed, and you all move out as you continue through these streets. Eventually, you come across a bit of a busy road on your way to your destination. You see a pretty sizable crowd of zombies out there, as well as a couple of lickers sort of climbing along the walls.
Oh,
You see a few alleyways that kind of head off to the sides, but for the most part, it looks like it's going to be pretty hard to get through here undetected.
Oh,
How many liquors?
It looks to be about 2.
Preparing for combat.
no. And I'm guessing I'm guessing zombies are just a straight horde. Like, is it like you can count 10 and you still count?
Not necessarily. If you were to stop and count them, there is a decent amount, but not necessarily a massive horde. There's about 10 zombies roaming the street, but they're all, pretty spread out. It'd be pretty difficult to get by in this case.
10 zombies, 2 liquors.
We're hidden from them, yeah.
Make stealth checks, everyone.
Oh,
Let's see how
Alright.
well you guys have been moving out here. Make one from Alec too.
I roll a 3 and it's still a 16.
I know, right? Agents, they do one thing, and one thing only, and that's pretty much everything.
Okay, yeah, you all are pretty well hidden. You have been moving out quickly and quietly.
So we can rush it, just try to get in and grab the loot, everything, and get out. Or you could take everyone out and just walk in. I say as I load my rifle.
Well, we have the drop on them. Should be pretty easy to dispatch of a small group like this.
Yeah. All right. Who's the close fighters?
Valik. His shotgun.
Combines her fist into the shotgun.
All right, I got 2 shotguns.
Knife.
Knives.
Knife.
All right. And you got a knife. All right. Looks like we're going in. I'm going to grapple hook up to the top of the nearest rooftop.
Okay. Well, so to sort of set this up here, let me get you a visual so you can position yourselves in whatever tactical formation you're looking to be taking here.
Oh, yeah.
So you're looking at a bunch of zombos on the streets. A couple of liquors hanging off the walls. And I'll say you guys came in this little alleyway in the bottom left. So... And Mr. G, you said you were...
I'm gonna be right here. Right
I
on
will
just
be-
right there.
You're right on top of the liquor.
Right on top of the liquor.
You just airdrop.
I'm
them.
on the roof here.
All right. I'll go ahead and
So now
open
that
that
I
up.
think
So that's
about
your
it.
roof there.
Yeah. I'm on the roof. I've grappled to the top corner.
Gotcha.
And I'm basically prone.
All right. You're down on the roof.
Instead, she's gonna brandish a fist. That might be more
Brandishing the
efficient for the
fists.
spike.
Henry
She
Cavill
combines
style.
her hands.
Just
Away.
She combines both her hands into an even bigger hand.
Now deploying fisticuff.
Oh, let me get
Fisticuff engage.
Let me
Did I give you
Let me
his-
see this boy.
I
bang.
don't remember
Where
if I
is he?
did. Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
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 Welcome back. It's kind of funny. If you look at it, it almost looks like you got Frenchie back.
Oh my! It does.
Dang it.
The squad's back. We got Valdis, we got
Bang.
Frenchie, we got Valik, we got
I mean, I'm no Clayton Mills, but
Yeah, you're not quite as slick as him.
nah. You mean Clayton Mills isn't quite as slick as I am?
Mm,
No,
Nah, yeah,
Clean
you
cut.
got a much higher charisma.
Yeah, but didn't have these sweet tats.
Right. If that's what you're calling them.
I may not be, an evolved and sprouting cryo out of me everywhere, but I still kill.
exactly.
So I could be. I'm Val. Who you had Val? Was it Valdis? Or
Yeah.
Yeah.
Valdis.
Victorian.
yeah.
All right. So what's the game plan here? What are you guys doing?
All right. You guys want to just go in and rush it?
Rush it.
Take that. I'm taking that shot.
All right. Make your attack with advantage.
And if we're all rushing in, we all have a
Surprise
Surprise
round.
round.
Yeah. Since you guys stealth so darn well. I suppose that's
Um,
didn't even seem like failure was an option on those on like the kinds of rolls that you guys can get on your stealth.
Keep forgetting to turn it off.
I'm trying to remember. Was there something eventually where I get a full round during a stealth round or during a surprise round?
Yeah, you get something later that helps with that.
Later?
more surprise.
Yeah, okay, that's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember if I had it yet. All right. Oh,
What's that?
attack round.
You good?
I bumped. I bumped the Pop filter.
I've been doing that a lot lately too. I finished a voiceover session the other day, and after I ended the recording, I just backhanded my pop filter off.
Pow,
Get out of here, we're done.
I'm all done with you now.
I don't see you anymore.
That's a hit.
23 mega hits, and that's
With a
assassination,
headshot.
right?
And I auto-crit.
Yeah. All right, give me the damage.
Can I have bonus action spotted him first?
No,
Okay.
that ship has sailed.
I know. I forget
had your chance.
every single time.
It's gone.
The bonus action spot first thing. $80
Yeah?
points of damage.
You put a bullet through its head and just splatter it across the building as its form just goes limp and drops off the side of the building and clatters to the ground.
That's too cute.
And off that sound, all the zombies just all seem to kind of mobilize as they seem to be becoming aware that something is now going on. But as that happens, Malik just rushes out and just puts a shot into this here zombers with his Spas 12 with advantage.
Doesn't need it.
Doesn't need it.
Yep. Yep.
Okay,
Oh
what are we
my.
dealing with here? Actually, no, these are all doubled.
Yep. ×2 for everything. Oh boy.
So that zombie was never stood a chance. He just
That
rushes
fertilizer?
up and just
Zombie!
He turned into fertilizer.
fertilizes.
Straight up
Yeah, turns its
fertilizer,
freaking
yeah.
head into fertilizer. The spray of red, in good old-fashioned Resident Evil manner. And yeah, its head is just blasted clean off as it headless chicken leans on him a little bit before he just shoves it off and it falls to the ground.
So that's why he wears the mask. So y'all get your turn.
Yeah, and then he's going to use the rest of his movement to sort of move into the position here. The rest of you doing anything on the surprise round?
I'm just gonna rush out, and then I'm gonna have a bonus action dash to get up to here. And I'm gonna use that movement afterwards if I can manage to kill a zombie.
Do you need to?
She's
That's only
gonna-
35 feet.
Yeah, I only have 30 feet regular, as far as I know.
Oh right, you had that extra because you were hasted last time.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
gonna come here and just punch him.
All
A
right,
nice punch, right in the face.
advantage attack.
Right in the face.
Mm.
Yeah, right in the face.
Not in the face.
$20. Oh, that was close.
22 still hits. As you dash out there and just whop this guy on your way. Which, by the way, I don't know if you ever increased your hit points on your roll 20.
I did not. I'll do that.
Yeah. You know, I guess you could do that during other people's turns. Just roll your damage for now.
Oh, that was a weak source hit. Oh, I'm gonna use extra attack for that. I assume
Alright.
that's not dead.
Yeah, it still seems to be standing, but you just like crack it and sort of dislocate its jaw, but it's still up.
I have advantage on the.
Yeah, you have advantage still.
On all
Okay.
effects.
The surprise round. Still hits. There
More
they
like
are.
it.
There it is.
That was, what was it, 9 on the first one?
And then maxed out damage.
Alright. So you just like crack and dislocate its jaw on the first hit, and then just strike it again in the other direction on the second, and the jaw just like shudders and falls off as you see its upper teeth is just staring back at you. It is pretty severely hurt and dazed, but it is still standing.
It's still standing?
Yep.
Oh. Okay, well, I can't do anything else right now.
All right.
You guys think I should haste this?
Not yet.
Okay.
We got some tyrants to fight later.
Yeah, not on Zombert.
Oh, Zombert.
Yeah, that's the end of a turn.
All right.
Wait, did you ever roll your hit dice for Enyo?
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, she just needs still needs to update on the roll20, but I guess you could do that now. Mrs. X, are you moving on the surprise round?
I'm probably just gonna have him move up to this corner because, like, I mean, that's a zombie. It's got 1 HP. Like, whatever. Because I won't be able to make it any others. So
You can bonus action dash.
hold on, because I gotta like map this out. Guess I could make it to the one all the way over.
Yeah, that's kind of far.
Yeah, because what diagonals like start costing an extra like 5 after the first.
Every
one.
other diagonal costs 10.
Yeah. So no. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to make it.
Well, I mean, your shotgun still has advantage, even though it's not an optimal.
She had the knives out though, didn't she?
Yeah, I have the knives out. So I guess what I'll do, I'll move up. Just get. Actually, that works. I'll just get up to here.
All right.
With movement, and then I'm gonna hold my action for if, let's say, if any other creature decides to get within range of me and my knives.
All right, good to know. So you're holding your action there as you prime yourself and get into a fighting stance with your blades. So now I need everybody to roll for initiative. As you guys just came out guns a-blazing and fists a-blazing on these zombies and just wrecked face took out a liquor as well. Alright, so sound off on initiative.
G 17.
Yeah, X is 7 and less.
And there's 21.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Neo 21. Okay, and Chauncey, you and your unit actually do hear a little bit of gunfire a little ways out.
Malik, use a silenced rifle or shotgun.
Pointed to the guys and pointing in the direction in which we signals towards that direction that we're moving that way.
All right, so you start moving out and you lead the pack in the direction of the firefight, or the gunfire at the least. So top of the round belongs to Enyo.
Alright, she's gonna punch this dude again.
All right, make another attack.
Aren't all your hits explosive?
That is true. 28 hits.
Dude's gotta be down now.
Oh yeah, he is. I think your minimum damage would have taken him down. So you just like, you see that tongue hanging out from the missing jaw, and you just punch her straight through and come out the back of his head with your fist, and he goes down.
Awesome, and then she's gonna run up to... and give him a nice swing.
16 hits. $11 points of damage to him.
Then I come back.
As you run up and just whoosh, hit him with a hook to the ribs.
And I'm gonna use my bonus action to do one more swing.
All right. 27 definitely hits.
These weak sauce hits.
So hit him with
Can you
another
hit me,
crack of just like bunch of body shots as you feel his bones dissolve to jelly beneath you.
That's the end of her turn.
All right, that's Enyo. Next up is going to be Malik, who is still running around and is madman with the shotgun. So he's going to just like dive between these cars and get to this one here and make another shoddy attack with advantage. Which he,
my.
I think I already have this all primed, so
There it is.
another 17 points as he just blasts its head clean off, again getting that barrel right under its chin, and sends another just spatter of gib out the other end. That's going to be it for his turn. Next up is going to be one of your enemies here. Mr. G.
Wow.
You
I
feel...
crit.
Hold up. Yeah, you crit. One of the enemies
you.
just
Thanks for
dies
rolling that
instantly. So first you take 16 points of piercing damage as a long spike just through your shoulder and nearly knocks you off your rooftop.
From the back.
From the front, as you see climbing up over the other side of the building across from you,
Is this a black spike?
what looks to be a large dog-like creature standing on the rooftop.
No.
It's Artemis!
What's an Artemis?
What in the hell is that?
Wait a second, it is Artemis?
Look at that.
Yeah, I said that as a joke. Wait a second.
Wait, what?
Yo, hold up. Can I just exit the battle and say no?
Can we save and quit and then reload save?
Yeah, through there stealthily, guys.
Artemis here.
But since it had to come up from the alleyway behind it, it actually, has to use all of its movement to get there, so it can't use its full multi-attack. But it is up on the corner of that rooftop, perched up as it sort of, you saw it climb up there and just like stand up on its hind legs and extend out one of its forepaws as this bony spike shot out of it and impacted into your shoulder.
I flip it off.
So that's the end of this Artemis's turn. Mr. G, you're up next.
I flip it off twice. I'm gonna freaking shoot it.
You
Oh
said,
man, if only someone from the original party was here.
you said it's Artemis's turn.
No worries.
I'm going to bonus action.
You're about to.
I'm bonus
Chauncey,
action.
come here.
Spot it. Someone get Chauncey here. Someone get Chauncey on the horn.
Joe, roll D4
Yeah.
while we're waiting for this.
Oh.
Chauncey,
Wait, you want me to roll?
roll D4, yeah. 24 hits.
24 hits. It's attack, or we're not in surprise, so I don't want to get any other
3.
hits.
3. All right. So you're about 3 rounds away. You're kind of leading the pack, so you'll definitely arrive a good ways ahead of your troops. But you'll be able to arrive here within that time, should the battle still be going.
What are the requirements for sneak attack?
Advantage or an adjacent ally.
All right. $52 points of damage.
Wait, you got sneak attack?
It's in my optimal range.
It is.
It is. My optimal
snap.
range is anything past 50.
Oh, snap. All right.
Anything past 50 within 500 feet.
Right. All right, so solid. As you take aim at the distance with your rifle for this fairly large target, you find what looks to be a vulnerable area in its sort of head region, those glowing red eyes sort of drawing your aim as you... And you see a spatter of blood come out as it yaps and snarls and at your general direction. But you take out a hefty chunk of flesh from its head.
Now we're even.
All right, that's Mr. G's turn.
I am going to... no, I'm going to stay where I'm at.
All right. So after your turn comes the zombies, which are going to start shambling. As
Doing
this
that
one
zombie thing.
sort of closes in here. Y'all got about 15 feet of movement, so these ones are back here gonna start dashing. Well, this one can get to here. Yeah, there's one guy way back here.
For me, guys.
And so you've got 3 that can make attacks on Enyo then. And they are going to attempt
3?
to... Yeah, because...
I thought
this guy
one
had
of
to
them
use a
dashed.
dash to get here. So these
Oh.
3 were the only ones that didn't dash.
Oh,
So that's going to be 3 attempted bite attacks against you as they all start assailing you with their hands sort of outstretched and just try to get a hold of your sleek form. That's 15 for the first one. Natural 20 on the second. And a 17 on the third. What's Enyo's AC?
So 20 aimed at her?
Yeah, the natural 20 hits for 7 points of piercing damage. As like sort of bites into your metallic form and breaks a few teeth off on
I'm
you.
gonna use my reaction to use brace.
Oh, right. How's that work again?
So I use my reaction to reduce damage by 1d10 plus my level.
Oh, snap! So that's instantly
Level
reduced to
four.
0.
That's nothing.
Yeah, you don't even have to make a roll to reduce that to 0. It's just so as he breaks his teeth off on your metallic form, you feel nothing. It does not make a dent in your body. And the other
So
17 doesn't hit.
17 does not hit.
All right. So you're
Once per turn, you're gonna get at minimum 15 damage. Wait, no, you're level 12. Minimum 13 damage.
yeah.
That's
So that's the zombies round. Next up, the liquor is just like hear this loud sort of screech as it's and starts climbing rapidly across this wall.
Why is it climbing?
Just like and it is going to send its dagger-like tongue out and just attempt to stab at Mrs. X, who is closest to it there.
Yeah.
Is going to be 9 to hit.
Nope.
So it's just, and you duck underneath the tongue as it just goes out and doesn't find any purchase before it recedes back into its mouth. But then it lunges at you with its claws bared, and attempts to claw at you in midair. That is going to be 23 to hit.
Yep.
And you take 6 points of slashing damage
Oh, okay.
as it rakes across you as it jumps through the air off of that wall.
My held action goes off because it's right there.
Right. So you get to make your attacks.
Alright. So I'm going to... I'm in and just slash with the blade.
Uh, 14 just hits.
Alright.
Raph,
Yep.
quick question. Would I have been able to add uncanny reflex an attack from Artemis
Uncanny dodge.
if it was attacking, or uncanny? No, uncanny reflex.
No, well, it used to be reflex, but now it's just uncanny dodge.
Now it's dodge. Okay,
Yeah.
just fix that. Okay, would I been able to if it was technically attacking from surprise?
It technically wasn't a surprise.
Okay,
me
well,
give it a-
from hidden because I have to see it.
That's true. That's true.
I'm wondering if I would have been able. I forgot about it, but I'm wondering if I would have been able.
I would probably say in that particular instance you wouldn't have.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so it's
Just make myself feel better.
8 points of damage to that one.
8 points, we'll say slashing.
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of going across it. It needs to make a full round of attacks, or...
You can make multiple
Your
attacks with
whole-
your attack action, right?
Yeah. If you take your attack action, you can make all attacks that you can normally make with your attack action.
Yeah. Can't use a bonus action, but everything you can do within your action.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, and then I'm just gonna...
So I think that you have 2, right?
Yep.
All right.
So I'm gonna go with the Karambit for the other one.
All right.
That's okay.
Unfortunately, doesn't hit.
Okay.
Like you swing with that second one, and it just just gets low and ducks out of the way. Very nimble creature. But that is the Licker's turn. Technically, that was your held action. And now it's your turn again.
Hi. I'm gonna go in and do what I was doing before. So I'm gonna start off with the blade.
20 hits.
11 points, we'll say piercing this time.
All right, just
She's gonna, like,
stab into it.
Jab into its, kind of like jab into its like shoulder or whatnot.
All right.
And then she's gonna come out and then slash with the Karambit. Say like across its like face. Yep.
Also hits.
And then with that one, I'm going to apply bleed.
All right. So with that, as you slash across its face, you catch some brain matter and just pull that out with it.
The bleed was 1d4.
Yeah, additional D4.
All right, so 13 altogether.
13. All right.
And with that, I'm gonna bonus action conserve combat,
All right. One more attack.
and then I'm gonna go in with the Karambit again. This time for piercing.
It's again. Getting some good rolls here.
Another
Ooh-wee.
12.
All right. So as you go to town with your blades and just as you take out some of that brain matter, you hear a loud screech come out of it as it tries to reel. There's blood coming out of all sorts of muscles, and this creature is looking quite severely hurt.
Cool. Yep, and that'll be all.
All right, back up to the top of the round brings us to Enyo.
You just tornadoed that freaking liquor.
Yeah, I know. Hit him with the hurricane.
Hurricane.
That was a straight up like shock and awe technique.
Enyo, where you at?
Right here. Okay.
Killer bees on the track.
What?
And Mr. G and company earlier, so I'm like, we can make a track.
Gotta swing at this one first.
All right, so taking a swing at him.
Once you hit full fall.
All right.
Oh, that dice just freaked out for me.
Yeah.
That's a solid hit.
So many weak sauce hits. I keep rolling that combination of 2 and 1.
I know, right? I've noticed that. It's a bunch of 2s and 1s. But still,
Dude down?
you crack him again in the ribs, but still aren't quite doing enough damage to bring him down. But it looks severely hurt as it's like just sort of dazed in place from this barrage of hits it's been taken.
It's still not down?
Yeah, still not down.
Oh, I wasted all my hits on him. Okay, one more hit. Holy, he's gotta be down after this.
Yeah, you just like, wow. After that combination to the body, you just bring in for just a rapid hammer fist across the head and just crack his head around, and it goes down.
And then I'm gonna use my bonus action for conserved combat again. I'm gonna hit. I like the look of this dude. The one on the left.
Alright, that zombie's closing in on you, just like, and all of these are just like draping their hands and trying to get a hold of you all the while. Hits him, that's 13.
It's slightly better.
Alright, 13 points of explosive damage to him. And it's just like, its head shoots back from the blow, and it is just dumbstruck. Alright, so you staying put?
And that's the end of her turn.
Alright.
Yeah.
Next up is Malik, who is going to weave in here and... What's he doing on ammo? Oh yeah, he could still make one more shot here as he's going to another attack with advantage from the proximity. Alright, for the first time he doesn't roll a natural 20. So it's another 2 shots, just like... And again, because he gets that advantage, he technically gets sneak attack with it. And that's another 42 points as he just blasts its head clean off. Another close range shotgun attack. And he is... going to go ahead and swing the Spas 12 back around over his shoulder and holster it for now as he maintains this position. And he sees the Artemis up there on the corner of the rooftop and is just like, what in the world is that?
Stay out of its range.
That's going to be the end of his turn.
Spike.
next up is going to bring us back to this Artemis.
Nah.
And it is actually going to go ahead and stand up on its hind legs once again and just launch a spike down at Enyo, who's right there in front of it. I think you're within its... Yeah. Yeah, everyone down there is within its range, but it's going to target Enyo.
Word? I heard clapping hours.
What?
Oh, that hits.
25, so you
Oh,
take...
that hits. Oh, finally.
You take 8 points of piercing damage as this spike just
No.
sticks into your shoulder and just like... zzz.
You know what I'm about to do?
Do you,
Oh,
do
no.
you really want to use that right now?
Yeah, I want to do it now.
All right, so you're gonna use your brace and just like you just like shoulder it, and the bone-like spike just shatters against your shoulder. And I guess you don't take any damage from that. And with that, it just lets out a loud growl and snarl as a bunch of sort of wispy smoke is billowing out from the sides of its jaws. And it is going to leap from its perch and land down here.
No, maybe I shouldn't have done that.
And it is actually going to...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is going to put... It's actually going to put its
Malik.
next two attacks on Malik here. With a 14 to hit, which... What is his AC? That's a 19, so that does not hit.
Mother. Okay.
And a natural 1. So this creature just like leaps from its perch and just and starts bounding towards him and just like and swings with both of its claws, but he dodges out of the way and it sort of tumbles across the ground and skids in front of him. And that is going to be the end of its turn. Mr. G is up next.
I might have to move. Nope, I don't have to move. Within 50 feet. Let's do this. Wait, no, hold on. I'm writing the wrong thing for my messages. There we go. 13 to hit.
13, unfortunately, does not hit.
I was really low.
As you try to take a shot in the midst of its diving in, unfortunately, it is just a little bit too quick, and as it unexpectedly stumbles to the ground after its critical fail, your shot just goes over it.
Damn it. Question. Going from rooftop to rooftop, would I, like, just asking as, like, a meta thing, whether I should put myself here or, like, on the street somewhere. Are these interiors of stores, or should, like, I'm gonna be moving?
No, not necessarily, no. They can,
Okay, so I'm just gonna...
They can function as either or.
Oh, wait,
right
no,
now,
hold on. That requires...
all of the stores are kind of locked up.
Yeah, that requires an action, actually, to get across the street. Oh, well. Yeah, I'm staying where I'm at. Actually, I'm gonna step back a little bit.
All right. So that's Mr. G's turn. Next up is going to be the zombies. After getting just stiff jabbed, this zombie just stumbles backwards and then just kind of looks back and sees some fresh meat and just gets easily distracted. You can take an opportunity attack against them, though, and if you would like. Wait, no, you already used your reaction.
Mm-hmm.
Forgot. So yeah, he actually gets to wander away towards Mrs. X, and these others are going to start closing in. This guy's still playing catch up back here. And so that's going to be an attack against Mrs. X as it attempts to assail you. That's 17. What's Mrs. X's AC?
Oh, I was muted. Sorry. Nope. It's a
Okay,
19.
doesn't hit. All right, so it's just like, but you're pretty easily able to dodge out of its grasp. This one actually is going to move over here and attempt to get a hold of Valik as it makes an attack against him there. 17 doesn't hit him either. But these two that are at Enyo are also going to make similar attacks, which none of them hit. And so it's just a bunch of zombies grasping at straws, but all of you are just way too skilled at fighting these kinds of enemies now. And there's no contest. Next up, the Liquor is going to go ahead and just, after just receiving a pretty severe beating, is going to see how it's doing here. Yeah, the fight or flight is kind of kicking in here, and this thing's just gonna attempt to skedaddle and get up on top of this rooftop here, and just starts climbing up. You can take an opportunity attack if you would like against it.
Yes,
Oh,
I
hey there.
would. She's just gonna karambit it.
That hits.
12.
So as it attempts to just like turn tail and slip away, you just like bring the karambit down and just and slip it into its spine. As it attempts to run, it just sort of carves out a solid chunk from its back, and it just, as it attempts to leap and climb up the walls of this building, just ends up sort of impacting and splattering against it, as it does not find the
Yeah.
strength to pull itself up.
Karan bit him in the butt.
Now it's back up to your turn, Mrs. X.
Yeah. It's just time to hit the zombie up here.
Give him a hit. That hits.
All right. What are all these fives? But yeah, 11.
11 against that gentleman above you.
11 slashing. As she slashes with the blade, kind of going around its chest, she's gonna come up with the karambit and go to stab into its shoulder.
All right.
And I'm going to have her do bleed.
Okay.
Then she's gonna like go down,
beans.
find the artery, slash, or will pierce into it. 14.
All right. And with that, you find a vital point on its arm, and as you just sort of navigate your way around, you just give it a good slash. A solid chunk of blood flies out of it as the creature is just like and sort of breathes its last as you just shove it to the ground the rest of the way, hooking it with your karambit. He's down.
And then looking over at the situation, it's like, oh yeah, there's more zombies. I can go. Oh yeah, that thing's down here now. She's gonna. Is it possible? So if I move over to these cars, right? Is it possible to bonus action hide?
Yeah, I would say there's enough there to obscure yourself. Go ahead and make a
Okay.
stealth check. You get down low and sort of crouch behind them.
Oh, yes.
You disappear behind those vehicles as far as your enemies are concerned.
And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to free action put the knives away.
All right.
And then that's when I'm going to end my turn right there.
All right. So, back up to the top of the round. Chauncey should be arriving this round, so I need you to roll initiative for him really quick.
Oh yeah, Chelsea's about to see. I don't know if Doc's back yet.
Oh no. Well, whenever he's back, you can roll initiative.
I was just about to see Artemis.
Oh yeah, that's right.
They're about to be like, what? Oh man, if Katara saw this, I blew you up.
That's right. Yeah, she did get the finishing blow on him.
Man,
Which-
who's
well, I
gonna
think-
get ragdolled like Allie?
Oh no.
Thrown over the edge.
Oh well, I feel like we need to figure out where his initiative's gonna be before we go into this here.
Want me to just roll a d20? See ballpark?
Actually, I guess we could just retroactively give him his turn if we go past it. So we'll let him roll for it when he gets here. But top of the round is gonna bring us to Enyo. He definitely isn't higher than Enyo, I don't think.
And now do you guys want me to haste?
Now it's up to you. How many
Yeah,
times can you do
that's
that today?
If I do it more than once before a long rest, I get one
Level of fatigue.
level of fatigue.
Oof.
But that's if I do it more than once after
Yeah.
one time.
That's up to you. I think we can take it.
Yeah, I think we got this.
Do you think I don't need haste?
Not yet.
Yeah, no, not yet.
Alright, not yet. She's gonna go and... Did this dude back up?
No, that dude was still on his way. That guy was way in the back.
That dude was like all at the top of the street.
Okay. So I'll see. I'll keep that one as a meat shield. Swing at that one.
All right. Oh, is that the one directly above you?
Yeah.
All right, hits. Chauncey, roll initiative.
Duck's back. All these ones are saddening me.
Still, you're getting some solid hits in there. You got a pretty big bonus that you just crack him once.
Do it again.
Also hits.
Imply. That was so close to being a 4.
So you just like again go to town with these wild haymakers and just slapping him silly. Looks pretty hurt.
Very second.
Also hits.
Come on. Yes, good roll.
And with one last final blow, you just again knock this one straight to the ground as its head cracks back. And there's a little bit of a spatter of blood as its head hits the pavement. And Chauncey.
And that's the end of her turn.
So Chauncey's at 14 on initiative.
Yes.
All right. So you actually pop in the back of this alleyway here. The problem is, in front of you is a fence gate. That is sort of, a high fencing that goes over your head, and the gate in it is sort of chained shut. But you are right there on the map. So that's going to be the end of Enyo's turn. Next up is going to be Malik, who is now face down with this beast that he has just narrowly evaded, and he's like, shoot. And he pulls out, slings out in front this TMP that is now in hand. And he is going to, seeing this zombie aside of him, engaged with Enyo and sort of focusing on her, he is going to actually take that TMP and attempt to shoot at it, and he has Gun Fu, so he doesn't have disadvantage. But yeah, just immediately just like pulls out this TMP, presses the stock up into his shoulder, turns aside, just like, and fires a quick burst over at that direction, which hits and deals sneak attack because it's engaged. For 27 points of damage. Which as it just like lets loose that burst, just like just riddles it with bullets, which come out in splatters and exit wounds on the other side, staining Enyo in a little bit of blood. The creature has been riddled. There's smoke coming out of these bullet holes, but it is still just barely holding on for dear life. And so Malik is going to disengage with his bonus action and head this way.
And I miss playing you.
And actually, as he's on his way back, he is going to go ahead and action surge and take one last shot at that zombie that was still holding on by a thread.
He's like, hold on, wait a minute. Let me just. Oh, we're good.
But just taking some shots at him. If it's gonna roll the dice, there we go. 13 hits and deals. He can't do sneak attack, but he can fire a pretty solid burst and just one of the bullets streaks by and just takes its arm off in its thin, gaunt form. And this creature, which is now just sort of like still attempting forward motion against Enyo, just slumps over, seemingly unaware that it is now dying and dead. And he's going to continue with his full movement, falling back a bit. And he's going to get back there. So that's going to be Malik's turn. End of his turn. Mr. G. Actually, not Mr. G. No, yeah.
What about me?
Nobody.
Who shot me this time?
Yeah, you get shot again by a new enemy entering the fray.
Sorry, I didn't know you were an enemy.
Stand by. Okay. So. Bursting out of this alleyway here, you do see a new figure entering the fray.
Which one?
On the eastern side of this map. You do see coming out here, going through the gate that is blocking that alleyway. A new figure sort of enters and takes cover by this wall.
Oh yeah, that one's unlocked.
Yeah.
Yeah, right?
And this figure looks like a sort of light-skinned woman with sort of sharp Asian features and long black hair pulled into a ponytail. She wears a dark hoodie and blue jeans and otherwise casual look broken by the nylon belts and leather holsters just adorning all over her limbs. And she looks to be carrying twin handguns in either hand. And she is peering around this corner and getting a lay of the situation. She's just like, shoot. And she sort of twirls around the corner and brings both guns up to bear and just and starts firing.
BGP has a sister?
That's his wife.
So that's going to be against Artemis, a 13, which does not hit. An 11, which also does not hit. And she's just going to be like, dang. And she's going to make one more offhand attack in an attempt to hit it again. Which is a 19, which does hit and deals 13 points of piercing damage to it. And she's just coming around just like and just unloading these guns and finding some impacts against it. And then she just sounds a whistle that is kind of loud and heard by all of you, as out from behind her, also coming out of this alleyway, is what looks to be a what you all recognize as a hunter leaping over this this fencing here, and it comes down and just slashes down at it, the back end of this large beastie.
Well, we're about to have an old-fashioned Mexican standoff here in a second.
Yeah, right.
23 and 25 to hit. So that is going to be 5 and 6 points of damage. And it's just like comes down and rakes it with both claws. That's going to be the end of her turn. But next up is going to be this Artemis, which is starting to feel a little bit crowded. It is going to bonus action disengage and get over these vehicles here, over to here at the very least. And it is actually going to do a full sort of bout of attacks against the mechanical foe in front of it. So it is going to start with a bite as it just lurches forward and attempts to seize Enyo with its teeth. Although I think
Enyo's gone at the moment.
Enyo is gone at the moment. But we'll just keep track. It's 25, which I'm fairly sure hits.
Yeah.
Just need to figure out the one she's going to use Bracer on.
Exactly. Which is going to deal 9 points of piercing damage. She's immune to the necrotic. That would be added to that. And it's going to make 2 more attacks with its claws. As it swipe. So thankfully, I think we know pretty much which ones hit and don't hit in there. So it gets one more hit in there, dealing 9 points of damage.
We just have to figure out which one of those 9s she wants to negate.
It doesn't even matter.
That's true.
So we could just assume 9 points is all.
Yeah,
she takes.
we'll say 18, but we'll say 9 if she comes back and says she wants to brace her. And it is going to continue using the rest of its movement as it is still disengaged to get out this way.
Hey.
That's going to be the end of its turn. Next up is G.
Why are you getting closer to me? I can't move any further back. Also, I probably can't even hit it from this angle.
No, yeah, it pretty much has full cover from you right now.
Yeah, it does. There's no way I can attack it on this turn and get it within range of my optim.
Yeah, and Mrs. X is still pretty hidden, which is why I just kind of skipped over you over those vehicles.
Yep.
Don't even know where you are.
There was one, but now it's gone. But I see more.
All right, so I'm going to come up to the edge of the building here. I can see Miss X. Right.
Correct.
I'm going to.
Well, in a moment, it probably will see her as well, just because that's now she's now in plain view of it. But yeah,
I'm going to motion to her to attack that. Like, there it is. I'm gonna hold my action for when she gets to within range before I fire.
Ah, I see. All right. So you give her a signal and wait for her to close in.
if she gets close, I'm gonna fire. If she doesn't, I'm gonna fire anyways.
All right, so that's Mr. G's turn. Next up is Chauncey.
So I was gonna say it was like if Chauncey was able to see that, like from
Yeah.
where he is.
Oh yeah,
That's what I was
Chauncey.
hoping for as well.
You are able to see, because it's a fence, like a chain link fence in front of you, so you're able to see what's going on out there in clear view, and you did see what looked to be a familiar sight, a large jackal-like creature with darkened skin and glowing red eyes. Significantly smaller than the last time you saw such a creature, but very similar looking to it indeed.
Okay. So chain link fence is I can jump that.
You can certainly try.
Okay.
Make an athletics check.
I'm gonna tell my boys to go ahead and get this gate open. as I like haul forward and jump. Ah! 16.
All right, so you, with your running start, just like, and just get your heavy armored self barely managing to get over and slide down onto the other side.
Oof. I'm going to, seeing that thing darted off to this direction. Let's go. I can't grab it now. How do I do this?
I think you need his.
There it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm gonna peer over here, see where it's going, and survey the land real quick. I see the hunter. Do I see the girl like way over here? Do I
You do.
notice this? Okay. And I see these two zomberts. And I'm gonna go ahead and unleash some hell on this situation here. So I'm gonna. These guys no damage yet, right?
Let's see. The one looks pretty unscathed. Actually, yeah, they both look pretty unscathed.
Okay. Does like the robot look like a threat to me? Like, do I consider it a threat? Like, do I go, oh wait, what the hell?
That's up to Chauncey.
Oh, so much meta. Like I know, but I don't know.
We're not attacking it.
Yeah, but I don't know you're there.
That's true. You haven't quite noticed, Mr. G.
Like, I don't know anybody on this field right now.
That's true.
That's true.
You just sort of walked into some sort of weird situation.
You attacking it or not is still
That's fair.
nothing for me.
By the way, Enyo, welcome back. You took 18 points of piercing damage. If you were willing to use brace, then you would take 9 instead.
Does the Artemis look weakened, by the way?
It looks pretty severely hurt.
does.
It looks like a wounded animal on the run, not on the prowl. It's just riddled with shots. It's bleeding from its head. Yeah, you take 9 points instead. So it's from two
that
separate
was
attacks.
10 foot.
So you reduce one of those attacks to 0, which will bring it down to 9.
So I'll move the rest of the way up here. Pull out the shotgun, because I'm assuming that I would have already had it out,
Mm-hmm.
being that I was in an alleyway.
Right. Is this the
I'm
Hydra?
gonna go ahead and the Hydra. I'm gonna go ahead and lay a shot. One shot shotgun into this guy up here.
All right. Anything you throwing on this?
No, I'm all out of improvised rounds.
I mean, like headshot or anything.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Always throwing out headshots. Jeez, I didn't even think that far. 2 plus 3. That was I think it was +6 total. So 4, 7, 9, 10.
And also, at this point, Malik sees you come onto the field, and he's just like, "All right, what's going on?"
What the hell's that thing?
we've got
walks up.
we got new figures coming out of either alleyway. He says this sort of into his comms to you guys.
Yeah.
Wait.
Oh, it's,
So it's 4.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know her. Oh, hey, Chauncey.
Hold up. I'm sorry. I'm a little out of sorts still.
It's all good.
Okay, so the penalty. Okay, so it's
-5. to your
-5.
hit.
if I have. Yeah. But I have proficiency 4, mobility 3, 3 for the gun.
Yeah.
So that is just a 5.
That's 10.
Yeah. 10
-5.
brought
Yeah,
5. Yeah. Hits.
Oh yeah, and advantage.
True.
Advantage. There it goes. Okay, so the 17.
Both hit. So
There we
17 hits.
So now we have, and I only fired one shot, and that is
Mr. G's just up there like, who is this imposter?
now a 15.
That's not Chauncey.
28.
Ooh. So
It
you
might be Chauncey. I don't know anymore.
So actually, I think that shouldn't that be 29 because it's +3 from the weapon and +3 from your mobility.
That'd be a +6, +10.
6, yeah, so it'd be +16.
Oh, okay, then yeah. Sorry, I did the math wrong. Sorry.
Yeah, it's all
sorry.
good.
Yeah. So 29.
Oh no, that's even worse because you just like come up to it, put the barrel against his head, and just
Eviscerate.
head rocks to the side, and then it like leans over and just sort of rocks back. It is still standing by a hair with a large hole bored through its head. It looks over to you.
Strength saving throw real quick.
All right. 11.
Okay.
How far back
was
is
an
he
18,
going?
10 feet. So
was
pretty
like-
much like blasted up against the side of that car.
I'll say from getting just so side blasted with this hole going through its head, it hits the car dealing 1 point of damage and just like splatters against it.
And then I'm gonna go ahead and roll something similar on this guy here, except for I'm gonna expel the 2 shots just for added effect. All right, let's roll that one.
And Enyo,
Headshot
you
as
have
well.
just seen this dude in a suit just leap over the fence and come running into this fray, guns ablazing. 23
That is-
mega hits.
Yeah, 23. And boom! 36.
Ooh.
And in just one fell swoop, just like with a triple-barreled shotgun, obliterates the 2 zombies that were harassing you.
I know it says once per turn, but can we, with flavor, also fling it up against Daniel? Like, oh god, what is this thing?
Yeah, the zombie all of its just brains and viscera comes out onto you as what remains of the body just flops against you.
And then
He is unmoving.
moving my last little bit of distance here, and as I'm moving, I'm going to switch to
Oh,
my
okay.
saw.
Right, you can technically do that with your fast draw feature, right?
I'm gonna go ahead and action surge,
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't have to waste my shotgun now.
and I'm gonna go ahead and send some shots at this puppy dog. Let's see what's up. So, Do I go headshot with it just for shits and giggles?
It's got a nice hole through it.
Oh
so
no!
you should.
Will it cost me? Will it cost me movement speed to drop prone?
I would say, yeah, you would still have to have some movement speed left in order to do that.
Okay, then can I retract my movement to stay here where I was and drop prone?
Sure, yeah, I'll allow it.
Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and send a barrage.
So just like put your Hydra behind your back, sling around the saw, and
that's same movement. One hand slings the Hydra back, the other one's pulling the saw out.
Yeah.
As I'm just army drop to the ground, just pow. Yeah.
Chauncey's just over there playing Call of Duty with the quick prone.
Drop shot.
Yeah, drop shot.
Yes. All right, so with that one, do I? You know what? I am gonna go one set of headshot just to test the waters.
All right.
That one is.
If you don't kill it
3.
now, Enyo's gonna beat shit out of this little puppy dog.
Yeah, it's +3, +3, +4.
Yeah, it's a +3 with the bipod, which means it would be the same bonus as the Hydra, so +10 and +5. 17 hits.
Oh, get wrecked, son. 5d4 +16. Rah! 26 points of Chauncey damage.
How do you want to do this?
Yeah.
Just full on. Nope, not again.
Yep.
As he's dropping to the bipod, the bullets are already spraying, and like he bounces and tactical fires at it too. Like he didn't need the bipod; he just got lucky.
So as you're dropping to the ground in slow motion, just firing as you go down, just hit the ground, unload these 5 rounds into it. The rounds just streak across the battlefield and tear new holes into this creature as it's attempting to make its escape, and just a bunch of shreds and tendrils of blood shoot out from it as it attempts to right itself but cannot and collapses to the ground. Yeah, flashbacks to Raccoon City of eviscerating a similar sort of creature, but this time a little bit less up close and personal. You see it go down.
And can I tactically roll a little bit to point my my saw towards the robot? And then just like kind of give like a chin up as my attack roll of intimidation. Like what? So I'm gonna inflict intimidation damage on it.
It's up to
What
Enyo.
about this one dude over here?
It's up to Enyo how you
one
react.
Can I like counter intimidate?
Let's
Well,
go.
what are you
I'll
doing?
roll you.
Like, I don't think she could form her shotgun gun because it's a
Well,
heavy.
technically,
So
is combat over?
Yeah, at this point we're out of initiative order.
Yeah, we're out of his
this
combat time.
dude,
So-
He's we don't know friendly.
oh, okay.
We'll get to that in a little bit. Hold on.
I don't know Chauncey.
That's true.
No.
You all, yeah, the rest of you just saw this new guy come over the fence with a suit.
that Chauncey sees he knows.
Well, you heard
So
Mr. G
what-
come over the intercoms a little bit earlier when you were just like,
yeah.
hey,
So-
Chauncey.
I don't know who that is. All I see is somebody pointing a gun at an ally.
And Enya returns the intimidate with her arms forming into one what are they called?
Like shotgun?
Like the barrel. That's it. Like
Oh
her
yeah.
arms form and change shape into this like singular barrel. That barrel. And then she's just like, identify yourself.
At this point, the lady comes out of the alleyway with 2 guns pointed, one at Chauncey and one at the robot, and this hunter jumps up on the top of the car and just like...
I'm jumping down between everybody because I'm the only one who knows everybody.
I point out.
If she's pointing a gun at me, if I'm bipod position aimed at the robot, I'm also pulling out a magnum and aiming it at the girl and the hunter at the same time.
So I'm just
And your splits her arms, so one magnum's facing Chelsea and one's facing the woman.
So I'm gonna come up. So is it possible for me to come up behind the woman and have the shotgun up to like? I am hidden.
You're hidden.
So I'm gonna come up. I'm gonna come up behind her with the shotgun and just have it like pointed against her head, and she's just like, "Drop it."
And Malik is just comes up and mounts himself over cover on one of the cars he was behind, and
With the UMP?
with his TMP, just like surveying the situation, and has like a sort of general spread of pointing his guns in every which direction.
He's like, I'm gonna shoot everybody.
I could shoot everyone.
But then you hear a clink of metal and that gate opens and here comes the flood of BSA coming.
And then
within
within a minute, the chain link fence you hear just a as a shotgun blasts the chain off that was locking the gate, and it just gets kicked open as a bunch of ranger looking dudes come through in their green BSAA issue armor and just like BSAA, and they just all come out with their guns drawn and just flood the street. 11 people in total.
Have Nadine out there with tentacle arms to holding up the cage, just like she's got that shit pointed.
So can I just like
Mexican standoff here?
Can I just like repel, like use the grapple gun to repel to the other roof and kind of like slide between everybody? There's like that big cluster right in the middle where everybody's just got a gun pointed.
Yeah,
just gotta get in the middle of that immediately.
Yeah, you just Spider-Man swing right down to the middle and just like and land there in exquisite style.
I'm just like, okay, there's. So. This is it. Like, just like everybody.
I'll look at you and listen.
Everybody, calm down. This is Chauncey. He's currently the head of the. No, I don't know that. I was gonna lie, but I wouldn't know to lie about it.
Well, I'm not the head of nothing. I'm still the captain. You know that.
Well, yeah, it's true. But I was gonna say you're the head of the BSAA, but I don't know that that would be an option yet. So this is Chauncey. He's a captain with the BSAA. Currently, he's my. What would that be, like a superior officer? He's the guy who gives me orders. What would that be? Like
my boss.
My boss. This is Chauncey. He's my boss.
And you're
Chauncey.
And your lowers her weapon at Chauncey, but still has it aimed at the woman.
Chauncey, this is Ennio. It's complicated. That's Miss X, colleague of mine. And pointing to just at the girl, and it's just like, Agent Yang. The hell is a BOW countermeasure force doing it?
And she just like, at this point, she has like this confused look on her face as her guns lower a little bit, and she's just like, oh, your credentials must go pretty high. And she sort of holsters her guns, and 2 holsters at her side.
Yes!
She just like waves to the hunter, and it just like steps down from its from the vehicle.
Oh, it's her. Oh.
It's just like the
I made a total guess.
Oh,
you are Chauncey.
Wait, that was robotic in another robotic sense.
That was Bobby.
So you are Chauncey.
I start to push myself off the ground and dust myself off a little bit and sleeve most of my gun. Yeah, that's me.
He says, just like standing amidst this like bloodbath in the middle of the street, as all of you are just like wafting in the smells of all these dead creatures and bullet-ridden enemies around you.
And you can't see him, but in the back, that's Malik. He's with the Red Oracle.
Yeah, I know things about Red Oracle, wouldn't I?
You've had encounters with them, out in the field.
Yeah.
You met the Red Oracle guy in Johannesburg. You've had some, the party's had some run-ins with them.
Well, I didn't meet any in Johannesburg.
No, right, you weren't there.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, well.
no, you met them in. You met him in China, or not China, Japan.
That's right. There was a Red Oracle guy, and the millionaire collector guy hired
guy.
Red Oracle security.
I also didn't meet them.
Really? I forgot you were in Tokyo.
Oh yeah, you were in the hotel.
I was taken in the sights, fellas.
Yeah, you were tired
No,
for a hot second.
I don't know Red Oracle at all.
Well, you know
I'm
of
assuming
them.
I've gotten reports. Of
You've
Red Oracle.
heard of them, yeah.
Okay.
They're a pretty reputable brand of mercenary. And he sort of steps out hesitantly, still with his gun drawn from behind his cover, but he sees everybody sort of calming down now.
Everybody here is friendly.
Well, I've already sleeved my guns. I was ready to box if I have to. Well, I'm faster than the average man. I could just grab my gun real quick. So all mine are holstered.
I just put away my shotgun.
I straighten up my suit that I got on over top of everything still.
And Angelina just sort of approaches a bit more. Seemed to have been a bit more at ease now that she's been identified, and she's like, oh, somebody I could recognize me on sight. Must have pretty good credentials. It's just like, all right.
Yeah.
So we've got
definitely.
We've got BSAA, Red Oracle Solutions. Kind of looking around, kind of surveying the branches that are in front of her. She's just like looking at Mr. G and Mrs. X and Enyo, and just like, what about you lot?
So, this is where it gets complicated. In the interests of being honest, and I feel like we're about to, there's no reason to not be at this point. It looks like we've got, like you said, Red Oracle. And wait, what else did you say? Red Oracle, BSAA. Red Oracle, BSAA. You've got the BOW Countermeasure Force. You have the CIA looking at me and Miss X. And looking at Enyo, just like, and I do believe we have the Manifold.
And at this point, she cocks her head and just like has a hand on one of her holsters, just like, excuse me?
Well, at least that's where we found her.
That's gonna take some explaining.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
some.
yeah. No, I'm on the same page. It appears our programming wasn't finished. Enyo.
Annie's not here.
Dang it. It appears her programming isn't complete. She currently has no hardwired friend or foe mechanism, so I guess she imprinted on me and a partner here. She's definitely tech from Manifold, but doesn't appear to have Manifold software.
You see this hunter type creature sauntering up, and you see it looks like what you guys would recognize as a traditional hunter bioweapon, but it is has like black scales and spikes sort of extending from its elbows and a few other joints.
Mm.
And it's just like as it approaches Enyo and just like dink dink just pokes it with its nails.
Wouldn't do that if I were you.
As long as I don't notice it's got a frog throat, I think I'm okay. I was swallowed whole by one of them suckers. The rest of them I could disband with a worm. I ain't worried about it.
So looks like you're a little special as well.
You can say that.
I am.
Oh, my name. Must know about Project Reprisal.
Only in passing.
Well, then it seems we're all on the same side, though. That's good to know. Maybe we should get out of the open.
Yeah, I need to go smoke a joint.
And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Why? Why that?
Actually, gonna.
I
Have
need
her
my
say that.
yellow herb.
Actually gonna have her say that. Word?
all this for a joint.
I just need a freaking. Oh, that was weird.
Yeah. Oh, well, that was exciting. Well,
Yeah,
thank you all very much for playing. And thank you all very much for watching. And we might still be in the chat or watching on YouTube. We'll be back picking up at this point in San Martinez. This very interesting sort of sequence of events in this outbreak. As these various factions are starting to converge. But, till next time, again, hope you all stay safe, stay sanitary, and we'll see you all later. Peace. Squared. Have a good night. God bless.
Good night, sweet dreams, all of the good things.